What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another installment of the Casually Chelsea show. I'm here with the panel of Real Chris, Prime, and myself, Marshall DBDX, Casually FC, Casually, whatever you want to call me. You guys already know what to do. Be sure to smash the like if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And if you already are here, consider becoming a member. It helps out tremendously with the channel, and the more members we have, the more emojis we unlock. And I have a lot of emojis for you guys, some new ones for this season and all that fun stuff. So if you want to see them, be sure to consider membership as low as 99p, so at a very affordable entry level. But guys, we have quite a bit to talk about, but first things first is Ruben Amorim's first day, right, at the office. And I thought United were back. I thought that things were changing, but not everyone can beat Ipswich. Ipswich that probably could have won today, and if it wasn't for a certain Onana in between the sticks, then we'd be talking about a different result. But United fans, just gotta say this: stay humble, Stay humble. Because you're a long way away from Starbucks and a long way away from actually being the team that you want to be. But this isn't a Man United show. I just wanted my 2 cents on that. I mean, do you guys want to put your 2 cents on the United game? I mean, might as well while we're here.
You're
Shit
staying
team?
away from Chelsea. Nah, good. You're staying away from Chelsea. 6 points behind. The only good player I thought today from United was Ahmad.
Amad Diallo, yeah.
Yeah, he was actually putting a shift and actually got the assist as well, of course. But the rest of them are bums right there. But yeah, whatever you have this season, Man United, I don't care.
Yeah, they're a long way from being the finished project. That's for damn certain. So, hey, they needed a wake-up call. Welcome back to Reality United. You still stink, and we like it that way. So let's go ahead and go on and continue now. Let's get to the actual meat and potatoes of the show today. You guys already know how we do. This is the roller coaster. You got to get to the incline first before we get to the drop. And let's start off with this one, which I thought was kind of... Listen, sometimes you just got to throw it back to when...
I am not a clown.
...was here. So it's Malaang Sarr, man. Malaang Sarr didn't take Mauricio Pochettino's infamous "who's that" response lightly. I took it badly. It shouldn't have happened. He knew me. He even tried to sign me at Tottenham. I didn't ask for an explanation.
You know me.
You know me. What do you mean you don't fucking know me?
I was here since day one.
Pochettino is such a fucking piece of shit, bro. He's such a dickhead, bro.
He wanted to make a joke. That's what it was at his expense.
That's like, it's not as bad, but it's almost like when
there's a video,
it's almost
I
like
swear.
when Tuchel said to Romelu when Kante was on TV, he's like, "That's your daddy."
I swear there's a
He did
video
not think that was
of
funny.
some guy saying, "You know me," like just like trying to get into some sort of club, and he pretended not to know him. That's
You know who I am? I'm fucking Malaang Sarr.
I swear Sterling
Yeah.
asked him where does he play as well when he joined.
Get the fuck out! No, he didn't.
He did, I swear. Like when
I
it's
did
like
not
in
see
pre-season. Yeah, because when Sterling joined, he was talking to Malaang Sarr. So where'd you play CB? He was like questioning it.
I mean,
He got
he
it
did
right.
under Tuchel. He played left back, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, no, at
his
times he did,
original
yeah.
position is center back.
It is original. Yeah, but at
Yeah,
Tuchel he
that's his
played left back
favorite
because
position.
he wasn't good enough.
So
to play
that one's more understandable. Not knowing who the fuck the player is in your squad, that's embarrassing. That's just
Maybe
you don't know
I
Malaang
don't know.
Sarr.
It's a translate of a.
Let's
didn't
have it
understand
right.
What he
He wasn't
said.
good
I don't
enough for
know.
the club. I don't know. No.
Where is he
that-
now?
that-
Is he still on loan?
I
is he
think
still?
he's
Gone?
gone. I'm pretty sure, but you fraud, Vic. He's gone. I'm pretty sure. I think it's not a loan. I think it's a permanent, and it was. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up right now. Malaang. Oops.
I mean,
Malaang
Pochettino doesn't need to
Sarr.
know who Sarr was though.
Malaang Sarr is in Lens currently. Lens, FC Lens. No,
Great player,
does it ring a
great
bell?
player.
No.
No, I know who Lens is. Simon's
Okay,
favorite
'cause-
team, I think.
No, it's not. That's Rennes.
Ah, close enough.
Yeah. Whatever. We'll look past that, Chris. But yeah. So figured I'd start off with a little funny one from Malaang Sarr.
That's kind of funny. I can't lie.
I wish you the best, Malaang. Didn't work out at Chelsea. It is what it is. You saved up a bit of a savings from just collecting a paycheck, and hopefully you can, have a flourishing career over at FC Lens, whatever. I don't know. Let's continue on. The next topic I have for you guys is there's been a bit of a PL schedule update in terms of how it's going to be set up next season, because we do have the Club World Cup coming up as well, which does put a bit of somewhat of a, not a dent, but a mix up into things. So let's start off with this first tweet I have for you guys, or what's the only tweet, to be honest. So we'll start off right here. New from PL Club's meeting. 2025-2026 season to start on Saturday, August 16th, 2025, 5 weeks after the Club World Cup final. So I guess the players are going to have 5 weeks off from the Club World Cup final.
Is that wait, Premier League?
Yes, next season the Premier League is going to start.
But then there's preseason, so they're going to miss preseason.
Oh yeah, true. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to suck, huh?
I mean, it's lucky Chelsea spent 1.5 billion and bought 7 goalkeepers and 7 centre backs and 7 midfielders and 7 wingers and 7 strikers.
I mean,
we've got the biggest squad in the world.
This is gonna be. Don't fall for the media, Chris. Okay.
I'm joking with I said 7 each one.
Yeah, but this is gonna be interesting because it's gonna affect all teams, not just us. And well, not all teams.
I mean, no way. Hang on. The Club World Cup
affects big 6 teams, or the teams that have been in Champions League as of late. It was gonna be us, Liverpool, City. I don't think Arsenal made it.
No. I think it's only 2 Premier League teams in it, if I'm correct. Us and City, actually, maybe. That's it, I think. No, not Liverpool.
Now you're making me look this up. Club
No, I'm pretty sure, unless the
Cup
chat knows as well. I'm pretty
teams.
sure it's 2 teams only. Oh.
You there, Prime?
Yes.
Okay. Wasn't sure. We were hearing background noise there. Let me see here.
Yeah, it's City and Chelsea.
Give me a list.
I'm
Chelsea?
pretty sure it's like the Noah's Ark, man. Like just 2 by 2 from each country.
Man City. Shit. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right, Chris. Even though fucking Brazil gets to bring 3.
I mean, maybe.
What are we talking about?
World Cup.
Basically, we're gonna have like when we done the Club World Cup or whatever, we have 5 weeks into the Premier League. So a lot of our players probably gonna miss pre-season, and they want to force our main players into the competition too.
We're supposed to play our main players in the Club World Cup anyways.
Yeah, but they put like you got to play your best players basically. They said.
Yeah, I mean the next bit I have here that the last games will be played on Sunday the 24th, May 2026. When did we end last season? I know I gotta compare it, and then no matches on the 24th of December, so no matches on Christmas Eve.
Wait, what?
Go ahead. I'm no matches on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any. Wait.
What do you mean? We had a match on Christmas Eve last year. We played Wolves on Christmas Eve, or Boxing Day, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, no, it was Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I'm just looking at our schedule last season because I'm trying to compare when we ended.
I think, but a lot of these players are probably going to miss preseason because they're probably going to want a little bit of vacation.
There might be no preseason, to be honest.
Then we might be fucked.
All these teams in this competition have no preseason. We're going to have to treat the Club World Cup like a preseason in a sense.
But we can't use our weaker players.
I mean, there'll be rotation. We're going to use our best players. The preseason is really to get the best players fit anyways and find your best 11. And we're going to go in there knowing what our best 11 is and probably substitute in like a Estevao and Paez and so on and so forth. Or they might get sent to loan early so that you don't have to worry about their development.
Hey, we can class Mudryk as one of our best players for that competition.
Last year, this is dumb. Last year, we ended on the 19th of May. So we're only going to end it a week later.
Okay.
And then we're gonna start 5 weeks. August 16th. When did we start last year? Trying to remember. It was against Liverpool, right? So where is it? Liverpool. August 13th is when we started. So we're gonna. Okay, so pretty much there's no preseason because it's starting 3 days after the day we started last season.
April.
So that's pretty much been no change to that. So we're still starting around the same time, and we're ending what a week earlier.
Yeah,
so
man,
we're gonna fit in more games into the schedule, like more double game weeks in the Premier League. That seems, these guys are ridiculous, bro. These men are ridiculous, bro.
I
This
think
is an
Pep
insane
said
schedule.
before they just push way too many games in and just cram it.
Mhm.
That these people are not human.
Yeah, this is really dumb. I don't like this.
I don't think it's a big of a deal if you have a big squad.
Yeah, if you have a big squad, but I mean,
we got a huge one.
There's just no space for preseason, which kind of bothers me because then you don't get to really try out the new players. It's odd, man. It's odd. I don't know how they're gonna fucking manage this. It is what
I mean, we won't be into the next one.
Yeah, I mean, this is only a 1 every 4 year thing, so maybe I am
actually,
overblowing it.
we might actually be in it then. Actually, it's every 4 years. I thought it was like every 2 years.
Every 4 years.
Yeah.
So it's like a World Cup then. Okay.
Yeah, essentially.
I mean, it does say World Cup in it, I guess.
Wow, Chris, I'm really impressed by you. You use your brain today.
Okay.
Club World Cup. Yeah, it's like a World Cup. Okay, so that's that. I mean, it stinks to see the schedule be so compressed the way it is, but that's football nowadays. Everything's just a commodity, and no one cares about the well-being of the fucking players. So it is what it is. All right, we're gonna move on to the next topic, which I have for you guys, and that's gonna be about Blue Co in Africa. And signs are pointing, at least based off what I can tell, signs are pointing that our multi-club model, the next club might be an African team. And I'll tell you why after we read some of these tweets. So starting off with this one. All of Chelsea's first-team recruiters met up earlier this month, and with the purpose of their scouting summit being to ensure everyone is aligned on the club's vision. Enzo Maresca popped in posing for a group picture with the 30 or so employees. It is said that those in the room left enthused, energized, and motivated as ever to go find the greatest gems making their way into the game. We continue on by this tweet. Did I accidentally skip a tweet? No, I didn't. Okay. Anyways, Blue Co bought Chelsea in May 2022 and Strasbourg in June 2023, but have not yet added any other clubs to their portfolio. One reason is they do not want to own any old team. They want ones where competitive football is available, which I respect that. I think that's good. We need any players that we send out on loan to develop, and you're only going to develop if you're challenged. So, Begdad Bali has openly described Africa as being untapped. Chelsea are proud of their African heritage. There is a pool of potential for those willing to take the time to look, and to quote one of Chelsea's new scouts in Gao, their goal is to make Africa blue. We continue on. Chelsea's scouting department is kept connected to Cobham via sporting directors when Stanley Stewart and Shields. They know which English starlets are coming through, and internally, optimism is high with George, Raksaki, Mweka, Dyer, and McMahon. We continue on. Chelsea currently have a 16-year-old South African called Emile Witbui undergoing a month-long trial arranged by Joe Shields. He was also tracked by Man City and United, according to Kieran Gill. So this to me, considering how often it's been mentioned and how often they brought it up, it seems to me our next club might be an African one. There's a lot of stocks being invested into the African market.
I actually don't mind that because there's a lot of good African players in the history and still now. So
I don't know whether or not it'll be an actual club, but we might do similar to what other big clubs have done, where we might open open an academy or have a partnership with Just an example. Jez knows about this. I think it's Genk, or maybe it's a French team. They have a partnership with I'm so tired. I don't know what I'm trying to think. Like,
it's fine.
Basically,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, if we are able to open like academies in particular countries in Africa, there'll be a lot like that have a connection to not Chelsea specifically, but Blueco. It'll be a lot easier to like source and get African talent from young, because other clubs do this. There's a Belgian club, I think it's Genk, they do this. Barcelona have done this because they just signed a young Ghanaian kid, and like 2 years ago they signed a young Ghanaian two kids into their academy. They're now part of their first team. So I'm not explaining this properly, but basically what we're doing is basically a good idea. I don't know where it would be, whether it be in Ivory Coast or Nigeria. Those are two big countries that have Chelsea have big connections
Talent,
to. So that would make the most sense. Like if we go Ivory Coast, we could use like Drogba, or if it's Nigeria, we could use like Mikel.
When it comes to the continent of Africa, it is a giant pool of potential. Because when you think about how big the continent is, and how I feel like every country in Africa has grown in competition. Like I feel like a few years ago, people really only spoke of Nigeria, and I could be wrong, obviously, but people only really spoke of Nigeria,
Senegal.
Not even Senegal. I don't think Senegal was really relevant that long ago.
They won it a few years ago.
A few years ago. I'm talking
they won AFCON 2 years ago.
I'm talking about more than a decade ago.
Oh,
it was only really like it was really only Ghana, Nigeria.
Ghana.
You can say Ivory Coast was in that conversation. Like there wasn't really many African teams. Cameroon's another one, African teams that were being spoken about. But now I feel like the level's been raised, so the bar's been raised so much higher. And now we have conversations about Algerians and Morocco and Egypt,
Mali, Guinea-Bissau,
Senegal. Like there's some really, really competitive African countries now.
Like the South African League.
There's talent.
There's is the biggest league in Africa. The South African League has quality within it. Like the last AFCON that just passed, South Africa, 20 players from the squad came from that league, and they reached the semi-final. Their best player, Mokoena, is from the South African League. Their goalkeeper, Ronan Williams, he was on the shortlist for African Player of the Year. He was on the Ballon d'Or Goalkeeper of the Year shortlist as well. He's from that league. Nigeria's goalkeeper, Stanley Nwabali, he's from that league. So like there is massive untapped potential like in Africa, and knowing what Chelsea's ties to Africa is as well, like, it just makes the most sense for us to try and explore it, because even though it's been done before in parts, Drogba and Eto, Yaya Toure, etc. Like there's so much more talent there that people haven't really like looked at, and if Chelsea can do that, it just opens it grows not just the potential players that we can find, it also continues to grow our fan base. Because I think in Africa, Chelsea probably have the top 3 biggest fan base. So,
yeah. I like I said, it's a big continent. You also are pretty much reassuring that same comment. It is a very big continent with a lot of talent in a lot of different parts of the country. That if you gather together a good scouting team, there is a very big pool of players you can pull from. And not to say just Africa, right? Like South America is similar in that sense too. Like there's a lot of talent in South America that you just don't see because maybe they don't make it to Copa Libertadores. Maybe they don't make it to the Sudamerica and all these competitions where, you know, people like us, like casual fans or just, you know, fans in general, that's what they see, right? Like, you know, not many people dive into like the Peruvian league or the Colombian league. Like there's talent there. There's teams that just unfortunately they don't have the resources or the facilities, as Chris likes to say, to make it into those big competitions, to be noticed and all that. So, I mean, Chris, do you have any thoughts on this before we move on? Chris, are you even there? Are you even there at all, Chris? All right, Chris left us. What a fraud. Anyways, all right. But that being said, like there's a lot of potential there, and I'm excited to see where it goes. What were you gonna say, Prime?
Yeah, I'm curious to how it develops. I'm curious to see what actually happens. Like again,
there's been a lot of talk about it lately, so it looks like they're really stepping, you know, putting gas on the African market.
Yeah, and I doubt it'll be an actual club, but like if it is, I'm curious to see where it will be. Whether like will it like what country it will be or what region of Africa, like because they mentioned there about Northern African countries like Egypt and you know, Morocco and the like. So it'd be quite interesting to see what actually comes from it. I'm always
100%.
I'm always here for African talent. So
100%. But okay, cool. Let's go on to the next topic I have for you guys. And this is also another one that I'm kind of excited to read off. I haven't really looked at it much, but I'm curious to see what they're pulling information-wise out of here. And it's Esker Maresca has some bright signs, and there's some statistics that have been pulled out from The Athletic lately that have shown signs of a very much changed Chelsea. Let's say that, right? But let's continue with this first tweet from I Am Ramin Osman. A good sign of a team on the rise is just how eager they are to learn. It was common in the first half to see players approach the touchline during a mini break, presumably for tactical tweaks or to pass on some information. Leicester were angered by Maresca joining Chelsea, insisting he jumped ship at the first opportunity, which I'll be honest with you, that I don't blame him. It's not like he jumped ship to go to MLS or he jumped ship to, you know, Saudi, coach Mines or Saudi. He jumped ship to take a team back to its place, which is top 4 or challenging for the league. It's a big opportunity, so I don't blame him. And there's money, you know, money helps.
They don't own him. Like if he wants to go, he can go. Like it just happens. So.
Exactly. This happens all the time. That's what happens to relegation teams. Anyways, there was a widespread bemusement. Then Maresca instructed the club to cancel the USA tour as it would disrupt preparation, only to then spend 2 weeks with Chelsea there. Interesting. So here's some stats that I thought was interesting. According to The Athletic, Chelsea under Enzo Maresca have the ball significantly less, 54.5 per average possession, than they did under Pochettino, 58.6. And the drop-off from Leicester under the Italian, albeit in the Championship, is even more stark, 61.6%. So, for a possession-based team, we're keeping possession less than Maresca's Leicester and Chelsea's Pochettino, or Pochettino's Chelsea, or whatever. No, we own Pochettino, so it's Chelsea's Pochettino. Anyways, Chelsea have entered the box this season. I'll go back to the ones. We'll discuss them each. How Chelsea have entered the box this season. Open play box entries in the Premier League. Again, this is from The Athletic. Nani has done 21 ball carries into the box, this is where we're seeing from Nani, with Jackson at 11. So Nani is actually, like we said yesterday, very, very direct approach, and we see that with him doing 10 more carries into the box. No, this is from this season.
No, because the right side Palmer. Passes and
passes and crosses into the box is Cole Palmer leading the way, nearly doubling Nani's numbers with 41% or 41.
Last season.
Solid arrow denotes most common average cluster per action. Okay, I get that. And then the last thing I have to show you guys is the graphic below to the side. shows that while Chelsea's speed on the ball is actually down slightly from Pochettino, they are averaging fewer passes per attacking sequence, and their profile and possession is closer to Slot's Liverpool side than Man City under Pep Guardiola. And we're looking here, direct speed with passes per sequence, and less passes and not as fast. Yeah, okay, so we're doing more passes, but we're not as direct. So Chelsea are less pass heavy in their build-up than we might have expected. Okay, so we're doing less passes than what people think we are. Putting us down here. We're not as fast with it either. So interesting. There's some interesting statistics to see how Chelsea are building up. But Prime, I think you wanted to say something about the possession stat, which you're more than welcome to look at this if you'd like. I don't know. It's a little hard to read it. I'm trying to see if I can.
No, I can. That's fine. I can. I mean, the numbers are a bit skewed because you're comparing 12
Let me
games.
actually try to do it this way. I'll save an image and I'll open up another image. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are a bit skewed. You're comparing 12 games to a 38 game season, and then what is the championship, a 42 game season. But
Oh, I'm sorry. Here. This will look better. I'll zoom in a bit. Well,
I agree with what Prime says. Yeah, it's a bit
Well,
skewed.
regardless, that's still like that makes sense.
mhm.
What we've been doing, to be fair, that yeah, it shows that like we actually have a plan and a direction. Considering our numbers are quite similar to, I'm not even looking at Pochettino's numbers. I'm looking at Maresca's numbers from Leicester last season. Considering our numbers are quite similar, makes sense.
Mhm.
It shows that he's implementing his style of play onto the players and that they're executing it. So
Touches in defensive third. So overall, like, I mean, it's also like if we have to be realistic about this too, it's also you got to take into consideration now it's a different competition. So it's a harder competition. I think it's going to result in some of the stats that last season in the championship maybe were a certain number. Now that you're in Premier League and it's a tougher competition, maybe it's a little harder to pull off the things you were able to pull off in championship. Hence, your numbers have been lower overall. Because overall, like this is like possession, it's lower than under Leicester. Attempted passes lower, pass accuracy lower. Like all these stats, shots, all these things are lower than what he did at Leicester. Which,
true.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
Not much of a difference.
It's not too much of a difference, exactly. Like, and I'm assuming like Chelsea and Maresca have. I'm assuming this is also. Well, it's per 90, right? So that does take the average of the whole season, and then does the math per 90. So maybe, okay, maybe this number could go up at the end of the season versus how it is now. You know, with Leicester's whole season last season with Maresca or Pochettino. The
Also,
other one,
when you
talk to me.
factor in the game,
Mhm.
our possession looks less, but we've also played Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United. We played we've also played what the top 4 clubs, or 4 out of the top 5 clubs. So that skews our numbers. We haven't up until Leicester just yesterday. We haven't played any of the bottom half teams really, or relegation sides. So our numbers, if we look at our numbers by what's halfway through the season, 19. If we look at our numbers from game week after game week 19, it's going to look.
Yeah.
The numbers will probably skew back to being superior to Leicester from last season.
Yeah, considering, but I also don't think it's very like a bad thing. Like to me, what the statistics says with the passing and the possession is that we're effective when we do have the ball, that we don't need to build up as much and we don't need to control as much of the game in order to be effective in the final third. And this is like, I think a big part of it too is also that unlike Pochettino last season, or even what Maresca had at Leicester, with the wingers that we have wingers that can drive the ball a lot more. We have an attacking 10 that can drive the ball a lot more. They don't need to pass to build up the play. Like, they can drive and they have the pace to do a good counter. Because that's the other thing, too. We have a good counterattack in this team that probably affects the passing stats. Now, Chris, I want you to give me your input on this.
I just know. I was just looking at quite impressive little stats here. Like, Neto's barely played, right?
Mm-hmm.
You look at Neto and the passes and crosses. He's up there top 3.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's quite impressive, actually. I was just looking at little things like that, and even Reece James, man, he's up there with 8, and he's like 4 games in. That's a little bit impressive too, since he's like centre back, I guess. But
why did you laugh when you mentioned Reece James?
No, I was laughing at all of it. Like Neto as well. Neto's like top 3, and he's like literally How many games he started? 2. That's actually.
Neto, I don't think he started a single game, to be honest with you.
No, he's definitely started 1. Wait, he started against Arsenal.
He started against Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. I think that was his first start.
That shows a lot of quality in Neto.
He's been coming in as a sub for the most part.
Yeah, and he didn't get like a whole lot of minutes, no subs half the time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like 20 minutes tops.
But
yeah, that's very impressive, I thought.
I think the one thing I want to ask you both about really is, I know Nani gets criticized a lot, but when we look at the carries into the box,
yeah, he's good
it seems like he's doing a job. And I kind of wanted to ask, like, do you think, I think I know the answer to, like, if you think Nani's too heavily criticized. I think all of us can agree that maybe Nani is too heavily criticized. But do you think because how direct he is and how imposing he is into the box is probably why he's staying in the team and maintaining his position as a starter? I'll start with Chris and then we'll go to Prime.
I like it with Madueke. Maybe a little bit of context in there, because I've seen sometimes where he just goes into the box and just go nowhere with it. But he's by far, for me, our best dribbler on the ball, for sure. So I'm not really like completely shocked, since he's our main starter as well. So yeah, it's still impressive. And like you say about overhated, yeah, because I've seen on social media, like calling him the man dem and all that type of shit. Like, it's just unneeded, of course. But yeah, maybe he's a bit overhated. I just think, obviously, I think he's going to be a bench player still, regardless, when Sancho comes back, and Neto's coming back for sure as well. Like, I don't know, probably soon. But yeah, maybe he's a little bit overhated, of course, because I think he's a good asset to Chelsea, regardless, as a bench player, or sometimes he'll start games, of course. And the manager likes him as well. So if the manager likes him, and we're doing pretty good this season, I don't care who he starts, to be honest, if he keeps getting the results. But yeah, maybe he's a bit overhated from a few people for sure. he chose the fucking Haaland picture. I just noticed. I guess Marshall, you're not there? Okay.
All right, I'm back.
No, I think he's done pretty well this season. I don't think he's been awful or shit or nothing, but yeah, like, I don't think he's been performing that great the last few games. I thought against Leicester he was decent. I don't think he's bad, but yeah, I think we still need to make a little bit of a change, like Neto and Sancho in those wingers, but it's whatever the manager wants, and if he keeps getting us results, I don't care what people say, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, because the way I approach this, right, is that clearly Maresca has a favoritism towards Nani.
Yeah.
And surely there's a reason for that. And I try to sit back and think, why is that? Why? What do you see in Nani that the rest of us aren't seeing, or the rest of us are, unable to look at or look past what we're seeing, which is like maybe the wrong decision making at times, maybe being wasteful, or maybe, holding the ball for too long. And this now kind of, to me, explains a little bit more of like, okay, maybe it's because you are getting in dangerous areas, and those, listen, even if you're not, chances aren't created by just, crossing it into the box or dribbling past the player. sometimes chances are created by causing a little bit of chaos in the front or in the opposition's box, right? And we saw that clearly with Pochettino last season. So maybe that's why he's keeping him in, because he is going into the box. He is making the carries into the penalty box and so on and so forth, which he does. We got to give that to Nani. Prime, did you want to add to this, or should I pass the ball to Ahmed?
No, he'll lose the ball. Anyways, with Nani, at least by me, I don't over criticize him. I think the carries into the box, yes, it makes sense because he can quite easily beat his man. That's not the criticism I have of him. My criticism is his decision making once he has beaten his man. Usually he's quite predictable. He's always trying to cut in on his left foot, which fair enough, if that's your gimmick, that's fine. But you have to make sure you're unbeatable with that gimmick. So I just want his decision making to improve. But in terms of starting, I mean, it also doesn't help that Sancho, for whatever reason it is, can't stay fit. And Mudryk still needs to develop and improve. And when we bought Neto, he wasn't fully fit at the start of the season. But yeah, I think I don't know. I think Madueke is still a starter because he offers a lot, like defensively. Like he can carry the ball, he can beat his man, but I need his end product to improve. I'm not even saying he needs to be scoring and assisting all the time, but I need your decision making to improve. That massively needs to improve.
Yeah, Prime lost the ball there like Enzo does usually when he gets pressed. But in regards to Noni Madueke,
How did I lose? What did I say that was wrong?
In regards to like
what did I say that was wrong?
No, I was just talking about when you paused the ball, you're like, I don't know, and then you went on your thing. That's what I was trying to discuss.
What did I say that was wrong about Noni?
He doesn't get the joke. We just have to keep push past it.
If it wasn't
anyway,
what did I say that was wrong about Noni?
Listen, people are smirking. The chat's laughing. But anyway, let's keep it pushing, man.
No one's laughing.
Listen, let's keep it pushing, man. I do want to talk about, in regards to Madueke. I feel like, his criticism at times I can see it as being really harsh in my personal opinion. Like, it feels like we're doing a bit too much at times. And I think part of that for me comes down to, one thing, and I'm going to use, obviously, I know this is something that even Marsh was spoken about before. You do remember Mudryk last season, guys? Like, one of the things we talked about last season is, he would score a goal, but guess what happened in the next game? Or like he performed really well and score a goal, but what happened in the next game, guys?
He either get hurt or he got benched.
He would usually get benched. Like, this is before even the injury stuff. So,
your microphone.
I'm not next to it. That's why. Give me one moment. There we go. You know what the issue becomes? The issue then becomes like it starts becoming like a stop-start issue, right? You don't want a situation where, okay, let's say we bench Madueke for some of these performances, and then we bring him off the bench. He might have a good game. Then we start doing the cycle again of like, oh, yeah, it's a bad game. We have to bench him now, etc., etc., etc. I think sometimes what it comes down to, in my personal opinion, with a guy like Madueke, is that you've got to play him consistently. I think that even with his own issue, which is a decision making, which is what we're speaking about. I think that the only way you can really solve that is with the coach maybe trying to help him out there in regards to the coaching aspect. And I think the second thing is just by putting him in consistent scenarios where he has to realize I have to make this choice. You know what I mean? You're giving him that XP essentially, if that makes sense.
Yeah, muscle.
I get that. I get that.
And so, when we look at Madueke's career at Chelsea, last season was basically a sub for us, barring one or two games, barring really at the end of the season where he started playing a bit more. Other than that, he was a consistent bench player for us. And right, the season before that, under Potter and then obviously Lampard, he played every now and then. But other than that, again, perennial bench player as well. And so, this is his only time in his Chelsea career where he's played consistent games week in, week out, if that makes sense. Marsh won everyone here. So for me, we need to give this guy, in my personal opinion, as much game time as possible. This is something that he's missing. much game time as possible for him to learn. Because like otherwise, it's all just here now or there. Then when you need another guy, it's okay. Let's say Mudryk come on here. You run the risk of just saying, okay, we know what Mudryk is going to do.
Yeah, I mean, your mic was cutting in and out there at the end. But
My apologies.
With Madueke, like, again, all of that is all well and good, but his decision-making does need to improve. I do agree with the, like, putting him into certain in-game scenarios so he just develops muscle memory of knowing what to do. But ultimately, he's going to have to improve. The same with Madueke, the same with Mudryk, sorry. Same with quite a few of our other players that we have question marks on, because this squad is not going to wait for them. It's going to develop with or without them. And I think that's the only problem I have with Mudryk. It's just like the decision making in the final third, because he has the other attributes. He has the attributes to actually make the right decision, to be effective, but he just needs to make the right decisions. He needs to know when to actually cut inside. He needs to know when to take it down the byline. He needs to know when to shoot and when not to shoot. But I think what's also not helping him is in the early part of the season, he was playing well because he was being able to link up with Palmer. But in the this last international break, Maresca's been playing Gusto as a 10 and playing Palmer deeper, which affects Madueke. That's not helping him either. I'll be fair to Madueke there, because no one's mentioned that with him. He's not having Palmer to link up with, which is effective.
I think had to play with also, Fofana, but he's played with Fofana again today. He's played with him quite a few times, and Disasi as well. The one time he had to play with him against Bournemouth as well. So he's not even had like a consistent fullback behind him.
No. I'm not talking about the fullback. I'm talking about the 10. Because again, the way we play, we don't have an overlapping fullback.
No, I'm adding that the context of like he's even when he's been playing, he's not even had like a consistent fullback playing with him as well.
Yeah, but I don't think that has nothing to do with it, because our fullbacks invert. So having a fullback to link up with is not the problem. It's having the 10, the creator, to link up with. And lately, it's been Gusto, and that hasn't helped Madueke at all. But I think what would help Madueke is he's the sort of player that thrives on like having a little kick up his back. We saw earlier in the season when there was rumors of selling him. He scored against the Vets. He then got a hat trick against Wolves. He scored against Forest when there was talks about him being dropped. There was talk going into the international break. There were talks about him being dropped. He played well for England both games.
Yeah. So
I just think he's the sort of player that needs that. So if he gets dropped in the next game, he'll probably perform well the game after that.
But that's where I'm coming at it from, right? Like, I think one factor is that he's that player that does benefit from having a chip on his shoulder and having something to prove. I think that's a big motivator for him because he doesn't like being underestimated. I believe he genuinely believes he's one of the best, if not the best player in the team. And I feel like complacency has kicked in a little bit. Last night, he was unlucky. Let's just call a spade a spade. I think last night he got really unlucky in the positions he got and the opportunities he missed and the offsides that were called. Unlucky. But I get this whole, the chopping and changing of the lineup. If you're never going to get consistent games, how are you expected to develop? I 100% get that. We have a Pedro Neto that is Premier League proven, has done this for a while, has the experience to do a job at right wing. And we have a whole Conference League and B team where Nani Madueke can get consistent game time. And I'm of the belief that it might be time to drop Nani into a B team for a bit, let him get a run of games, let him get his confidence up, let him be motivated again. He'll still get his run of games. Some people might argue it's not the same quality. Okay, Mudryk is getting the same run of games and he's looking better than he did last season. And when he comes off the bench, he looks decent and looks like he's going to make an impact. But we're not seeing that from Nani over the course of 65 minutes, 70 minutes. He gets hooked off every time. Like, It's at a point where, Nani, you can play in Conference League, and once you show us that you're ready to step up again to the Premier League, then we can have that conversation. But for now, I think Pedro Neto should be playing that right wing. It won't affect Nani because Nani will still get consistent game time in the Conference League.
I disagree. Okay, you actually made your own point actually quite perfectly of why it's against that. The level of opponent we're facing in the Conference League is equivalent of just facing youth teams, with all due respect, right? That's what you're basically facing against those.
It's consistent game time,
and
it's
also
Ahmed. The reason you might disagree, but Mudryk has improved this season, and he has made more of an impact when he's come on from sub than Nani has made in the last 5 games.
That's not true. That's not true.
That is very true.
Barring Nottingham Forest, Mudryk has not done anything to phone home about in the EPL.
He's looked more impactful than Nani.
Barring Nottingham Forest,
barring last game. That is very true.
Yeah,
I disagree. Barring Nottingham Forest, he's not.
We know you disagree because you don't even think Mudryk has been improved this season.
I said that to you before. What are you doing? What are you talking about, Marshall? I said he's actually improved, but he's looked a lot more competent in the Conference League. There's no doubt about that. I won't even deny that at all. But what I would say is that when he's playing the EPL, bro, he's looked like very much the same, barring that.
No, see, that's where you're disingenuous. That's where you're being disingenuous.
You didn't let me finish. I said he's been very much the same, barring Nottingham Forest. That's why I said Nottingham's performance. He was really good.
You're still being disingenuous. My statement still stands.
Against United, he was against United when he came on. He was poor.
He looked better than all of our attackers against United. He looked like he was trying to do something.
No, he did
See,
not.
This
He
is
was
where
running.
He was running literally.
I'm not being disingenuous, Marshall. He literally ran the straight line, Marshall, and then got a Man United player literally, just point blank, just slide tackle, and he just decided to run into him. Yeah,
well, Newcastle won when he came on. I thought he looked good against Newcastle.
No, he didn't. Newcastle.
I thought he looked decent in that one.
Newcastle, he looked average. Again, he's not doing.
I'm not trying to say Mudryk, by the way. But
we can. No, I agree with you. I know what you mean, Chris. But I feel like again, we can all agree, that Mudryk has improved. But I don't think he's improved, in the EPL, his performance was. I've said this before. He had one really great game on Forest where he should have had an assist. But other than that, in his other games, he's not performed that well, bro. Let's be honest, bro.
Okay. I hear what Ahmed's saying. I think, I'll be real. I don't think, maybe barring Neto, I don't think any of our wingers have fully, put out a statement to say, I deserve to be starting week in, week out. Sancho, I'll be real. I know we have an obligation to buy him, but I think he's going to be gone in a couple of years. I don't see it with him long term. Mudryk.
What about Mudryk?
I think he's a good squad player to have, I guess, but he hasn't staked a claim on that left wing yet. Neto is our best winger in general. And Madueke, even though his decision making still needs to improve in the final third, the rest of the game he offers. He tracks back defensively, even though he didn't for that goal against Arsenal. He's a powerful runner. He can combine well with Palmer. As of right now, my starting wingers in the Prem is Madueke and Neto, just based off of Neto's our best winger, and Madueke has done a lot more than Sancho and Mudryk.
But I feel like that's unfair to Sancho because Sancho literally did get sick and then took a knock. He's been missing. He was starting every game up until after the Liverpool game.
I know. I don't.
And he got his 3 assists too so far.
One, I've never rated Sancho highly. Anyways.
That's fine.
And 2, I don't think Sancho is a Maresca style winger. Regardless.
But here's the thing. This goes back again. Because Prime, you said it. Neto wasn't starting in the Premier League. How did he get now? How is he now in this conversation of he should be starting in the Premier League?
I think
he was playing well in the Conference League.
But I think Neto wasn't, at least it's my opinion, it's not, I think he wasn't starting in the Premier yet because of fitness.
Yeah, now was not.
I don't know about that.
When he first came to us, he was not fit. That's actually a fair point.
That is true.
I think
I don't think that's why
when was I think it was in the. Remember, Crystal Palace was like his first game when he started, right? That was like his first start.
No,
I remember.
don't think he started in Crystal Palace.
No, he started at Crystal Palace. I remember.
Because I remember saying this when people were saying, "Why is he not like playing and stuff?" Drop Madueke, and I was saying, as much as I agree, Neto's not fit yet.
Yeah, because like
Neto did. No, this is last season. Sorry.
No, he started Marshall. I
I remember because he started.
So two starts.
Yeah, because he started and like people are like, oh, why is Neto looking like this? You know, he's looking really slow. He wasn't like the Neto that we remembered at the very least. And then obviously
58 minutes.
And then obviously after that, we then got him playing consistently in Conference League. He was getting a few here there nigga minutes against obviously the in EPL, and then he had that really good performance. Well, I forget which team it was for Crystal in the Conference League. I think it was it the Greek side? No, I don't think it was the Greek side as well.
I have no idea of these Conference League teams.
I don't know, but it was like he had like a really good performance against the Conference League side. And then obviously Sancho got ill and then took a knock, so he couldn't play anymore for us. And then that's when he started basically.
Yeah, the only thing I think maybe why Sancho might not suit Musk is maybe he's too slow on the wing, and he does tend to gas out by the looks of it. I don't know if it's just fitness or he just doesn't have a lot of stamina in him. But yeah, like Madueke, what I do actually like about Madueke, he does actually trap back pretty good, and he's quick and powerful.
But so does Neto.
Yeah, I agree.
Neto started in the Premier League, then got dropped to Conference League, and proved and worked his way back up to the Premier League. Which now, unfortunately, he got hurt. Wait, let me land. Unfortunately, he got hurt. And when he's fit again, which hopefully is next game, then he's probably starting. Nani can go through the same thing for all I care.
But the question...
I also... Hold on, Ahmed. I agree with you, Marshall, but I also think it was because Neto started in the Prem. It was clear that he just still wasn't fit yet. That's why he went back to playing Conference League games. And then I'm not
arguing the origin or how it started or how it went. I'm arguing the fact that Neto, who we all agree is looking like one of our best wingers, proved it in the Conference League.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Ahmed is saying that with Madueke, that's not a good idea because the competition is too easy and it's not going to do shit for him. But it did something for Neto.
I don't agree with the competition part with Ahmed. However, like the game yesterday, when Chelsea fans were saying drop Madueke, I was saying that he's still going to play regardless because Sancho's not fit yet. Sancho hasn't played football in a month. I wasn't expecting Felix to play because I didn't know Neto had enough. But I'm still expecting Madueke to play games because he's been our
whole season,
winger, our only winger this season so far that's been consistently fit.
Sure.
Mudryk has been fit as well, but Neto and Sancho have had knocks or whatever. Yeah. So Madueke he's still going to play games, regardless of what people. And I just hope he gets back into a bit of form, or at least he finds some level of consistency. Because say what you want about Mudryk, at least now he's showing consistency.
Yeah, I agree.
I want Madueke to show a level of 7.5, 6.5 out of 10 every week. Even if you're not scoring or assisting, at least you're making the right decisions. That's what I want from it.
Agreed. Chris, did you want to add anything to that, or shall we move on to another story?
I'm good with it now.
Okay, cool. Let's actually move on to the next thing I wanted to bring up, which is Acheampong. So there's been a little bit of update on Acheampong. Not really much of an update, but it's new links. So apparently, according to Miguel Delaney, Paris Saint-Germain have escalated interest in Josh Acheampong as they become the latest club willing to test Chelsea's resolve in keeping their young prospect. I guess we haven't talked about rumors in a hot minute, and we do have January about a month away when the window's going to open, and I don't know. Do you guys feel like Josh is going to walk in the other direction? It seems like it is, because even with this whole news on Reece, we're not hearing updates on signing the contract or anything. Like, it seems like Acheampong wants to leave Chelsea.
To be honest, we are also in like what I like to call the speculation period, innit? So once it gets really close to January, like the end of December, stuff like that, that's when we're probably gonna start seeing if a lot of this stuff is true. In my personal opinion, I think with Acheampong though, going to PSG would be. I don't know if it'd be. I don't think it'd be the right move because a lot of these young guys, like I think honestly, barring Barcola and like I forget the South Korean gentleman's name that they've got there, right?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't really get that much game time, bro. Like I know they've got that young black guy that's a centre back that they play, who's and obviously Vitinha's been getting a bit of game time there. Been a regular starter, sorry, and obviously I forget the other guys that I want to talk about. His name is
Desiree Dewey.
No, not Desiree Dewey. There's another guy that they got there.
Lee Kang-in. That was the
no, that's the Korean guy.
Yeah,
it's a Pacho, and Nuno Mensch is the guy that they brought, and they brought him when he was really young, and they played that guy regularly. So other than that, they've not really played. They're not known to play this many youngsters, if that makes sense, Marshall. So.
How long's his contract?
And like
until
right now,
2026.
and like obviously right now, the thing about PSG is Doué is not getting any minutes. And he's and he's like was probably one of the brightest youngsters in the world, in his position, and he decided to go to PSG, and it's just not worked out. And there's a lot of youngsters that go to PSG, they just don't get minutes either. So it's.
I mean, isn't that why Nkunku left in the first place?
Nkunku was actually from the academy. That was even different. They had like a great academy. PSG's academy, by the way, in like the mid-teens was ridiculous. They had Coman that was from the academy. They had Nkunku that was from the academy. I know Areola now is shit, but like at the time Areola was like a flipping world-class like talent that came out from there too.
Yeah. Regardless, like at this stage, it's kind of like a deal the way Chelsea's and Acheampong, the way they're both dealing with the situation, they're just like, who's gonna call each other's bluff first. Like Acheampong wants to play, but like he won't sign a contract until he's given minutes to ensure that he will get game time. But
Doesn't
Chelsea
it seem odd to you though, Prime?
won't. Well, yeah, but I'll answer that. Chelsea won't like give him the game time to play because there is a pathway. They won't give him the game time until he actually signs a contract. So it's just a game of like who bluffs first. Is it odd? Yes, but I don't know. There must be someone in his ear because when I look at these clubs that are linked, you're not playing at Real Madrid. You're not going to play at PSG. You're not going to play at Dortmund. You're not playing at these top clubs. They're going to send you out on loan. Whereas at Chelsea, you actually have a path to play in this team right now. Because if he had been playing from the start of the season and the Conference League in the Carabao Cup, right now you could potentially be our second best right back because Reece is injured right now, and Gusto, whatever is happening with him, he's not playing well. So you could be our best or our second best right back, and you could potentially be in contention to actually play Premier League games, but you're not taking advantage of the situation right now because of your contract situation that's going on.
Chris, what do you think about this whole situation with Acheampong, man?
To me, it probably looks like it's happening. Like he's going to PSG Navy. I don't know, but maybe there's something he knows. Like he just doesn't think he's gonna get game time because Gusto's obviously our main starter. Reece James is obviously there as well, and we're probably going to end up keeping him too. So maybe he just wants to move on since there's two good right backs there. But in all fairness, he could get a foot in because, like, obviously Reece James is getting injuries this season for sure as well. So I don't know. Maybe he should have signed the contract, but you know what? It's this decision. He can make it, and he can go to another club and see if he does well at PSG or what. I'm not like going to PSG is still a big club to go to as well. So. It's a good step to go to, so I don't blame him, to be honest. It's not like that deep for me.
I mean, it annoys me because it strikes me as like a Tino Livramento situation all over again, or a Tariq Lamptey situation all over again. Not that I miss those players.
Yeah, because
right?
I don't really miss them, to be honest.
I don't miss them at all. Like, but it's just one of those things that like. Maybe it's the old school head in me, but. And I also understand, like, you have to look out for what's best in your career as a footballer. But at the same time, I feel like we're hearing so many of these stories, and I remember it was very blatant with Levi Colwell, where these young up and coming players, these young up and coming stars, having like almost like a sense of entitlement that like, oh, I know how good I am, even though I've spent most of my career in like the under 20s and the under 18s and all this shit, and I've stood out from the rest. I know how good I am. I'm entitled to start for this team. And it's like, bro, you barely, if at all, played any minutes in the Premier League. What makes you think that you're ready for this level to start out and out and be the number one? And that's why you're holding the club at ransom to get the contract that you want, or you don't want the contract because you want to go to another club where you think you're going to get more playtime. Like, you know, you guys have heard the saying, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And it's just like, it's a 50-50 for me, where I get it in the terms of like, yeah, you got to look out for your career. Sometimes the competition is too stiff and you're not going to get ahead of it. But on the other hand, bro, why not fight for a spot and prove that you're better than the people ahead of you? Like, it's just a weird 50-50 balance of things for me. And again, I think Josh Acheampong could fight for his spot. He could play, he's going to get minutes in this team. You have the Conference League. And even if you wanted to leave the club, this club, Bluecoat, there are no strangers to selling you for pure profit. So it's not like you won't have an exit. Like, I'm sure the ownership would not mind selling you for pure profit if you so wished it. Who knows?
It's different with Colwell. It's different with Colwell because at least Colwell had played professional football for Huddersfield and Brighton. So, like, he was actually showcasing his talent. Whereas with Acheampong, all you are is potential. All you have is academy minutes. No one knows how good you actually are. Like, what makes you think you'll get minutes at Real Madrid or Dortmund or PSG? They're just going to loan you out. At least at Chelsea, you can play in the team. And people can say it's Conference League, but like, Conference League minutes is better than nothing right now. Because at least now,
100%.
you're not allowed to train with the first team. You're not doing anything. You're just wasting away. So you might as well sign a contract, play, and then if you want to leave in the summer or in January, at least you have a body of work to show to a
suitor.
Yeah, like a Palace or something. You have a body of work to say, listen, I've played European football. I've played a few minutes in the Prem. I'm actually good, you know. Whereas right now you have nothing. So why would any, like, all these top clubs that want you? I don't really believe that anyways. Because why?
No,
they're not. Yeah, but I don't genuinely believe it because I rate Josh, but again, you're not a generational talent. You're not. So why would a Real Madrid or a PSG want you? Let's just be real.
You know what it is? You know what it is? We live in an era where, you know, the young prospects are now the new hot commodity of the era, right? So as such, a lot of these guys, they have, a lot of choices now where they can get guaranteed first team football. Now, we can agree or disagree on the semantics, you know, whether whether or not he's going to get minutes at PSG, whether or not he's not going to get
they got Hakimi, right?
Again, Chris, you know, let me finish first before we make this comment. Yeah, right. Listen, we can agree on whether or not he's going to get minutes there, whether or not he's not going to get minutes there. The reality of the situation is, right, they can just watch a highlight tape, and they can just send scouts to like the Chelsea Academy to whenever he's playing in the PL2 when he was younger, and look at him and be like, yes, this is the guy we want. And listen, that's all available for them. Now I think we can say that, you know, for example, at different clubs, you're not going to get that many, minutes, right? Like, obviously, I know Chris is right now brought up Hakimi and etc. But what happens if Hakimi wants to move on? I know Hakimi just signed a short-term deal of like a release clause until 2026, actually, if I'm not mistaken, or 2027, with a release clause in it. So for all we know, that's what they're preparing for.
I mean, it'd be kind of crazy if he's the main star,
right?
Because he has no experience.
But listen, we can say that. But listen, that's the new thing that's been happening.
No,
in a lot of these
well,
places.
I don't know if it's a new thing because inexperienced players don't really get started.
And also, the league you're talking about. For example, PSG is League 1, bro. League 1, you can start a guy that's really young and not got that much experience, bro. That's what they do a lot of the time in that league. Let's look at Strasbourg, for example. Strasbourg's got a lot of players that don't have that much experience.
Strasbourg, like down at the bottom.
Amen, your camera.
Oh, what happened?
Your background.
Yeah, what's wrong with my background?
You weren't paying attention. Your brother was there.
Oh yeah, he's a fraud, man. It's okay. I've got an ensuite there, so he sometimes uses it just in case if the other one's in use. That's why.
Ooh, ensuite. Okay, rich guy.
Yeah, I have an ensuite bathroom shower. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you for letting me know about the piece. But no, as I was saying, bro, again, I just come back to it. We can agree or disagree about that. But again, a lot of these guys, they can get these games, these positions, and everything like that, and they just keep it pushing. I know not many people like it. Yeah, even I don't like it too. But that's the thing right now. Marshall knows this. You know this. We all know this, bro. Look at how much young guys we signed Esteban Willian for. I think something like £60 million, bro. I know he's obviously like a wonder kid.
Yeah, but he's an extreme.
But listen, he's a wonder kid. He's an extreme example, right? But someone like Josh Acheampong, bro, probably £15 million is probably his going rate. And remember, something that we don't speak a lot. Scouts are watching this guy when he's playing in the PL2 or stuff like that, whatever he's playing in, right? So there's guys that are watching him.
Yes, but Ahmed.
And I get what you guys saying about the pathway and stuff. All that stuff you're saying is true. So you won't hear me deny that, right? I just think the problem becomes these other clubs are gonna be like, listen, we can give you minutes. We can even give you more money than maybe what Chelsea's giving you as a base contract and stuff like that. And that's the reality.
But Ahmed, this would make sense if he was linked to, say, Palace, Brighton, Fulham,
Dortmund would actually start, by the way. That's actually one club. I know you said no, but I think Dortmund would start. I think also we need to also take it with a pinch of salt. Like a lot of the stuff has been said. They said Real Madrid is interested. Doesn't mean. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. What you say, bro?
He's in a slight delay.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's not a delay. I wanted to finish. If he was linked to like a Palace, a Brighton, maybe a Dortmund, I would understand the links and I would be like, fair enough, go. But I'm hearing Real Madrid, PSG. That's not realistic. It doesn't make sense.
Well, even on that note, right, Prime? I don't think it would be fruitful for his career. And the way I see it is that I think he's trying to look out for his career, right? He wants play time and all this. That's fine. I think whoever is mentoring him hopefully is doing a good job, because the one other factor as to why he should choose Chelsea, in my opinion, and why a lot of these players that have come in to this team, despite where we've been in the last 2 years, have decided to come to Chelsea, is job security. That's a factor, and that's something that you should take into consideration. The fact that, okay, I can go to Atletico and they're only willing to give me a 3-year contract, but if I stay here at Chelsea, they're willing to give me 8-year incentivized contract. If I hit the incentives, I'm eligible for upgrade to my contract or an updated contract where I can make more money, and I'm here and I don't have to worry about what club I'm going to go to next and for another 8 years. These are factors. Again, I feel like that's a part of the game that I say again, Marshall, but it's part of the game that people don't pay attention to.
How old is he, Marshall?
I know he's young, but so was Palmer when we signed him to however long he was. So was Jackson too when we signed him for however long he was. I think Acheampong is 17.
Yeah,
but Marshall, he's 70 years old. They're when they signed their contract, they were 21, 22.
Not even that.
Yeah, but Esteval, Kendry Paez, how long did you think we signed him for? Dijon Whispers, so on and so forth. Caleb Wiley, we signed him into long contracts.
Yeah, but you're also missing out the important details. Jackson had at least been playing first-team football. Palmer had played first-team football. Esteval, William, and Paez, they're supposed to be generational talents. Dujan Whispers, it's supposed to be a big talent. Josh Acheampong is not labeled as a big talent.
Mm,
I'm someone who rates him. Where's the hype about? He's not getting the hype
That's a good
Mason Mount
point.
got in the academy, or Gallagher got in the academy, or fucking what's his name, Gilchrist got last year.
Oh, bro, a lot of people don't like Gallagher, but Gallagher was getting rated from the academy, bro. I'm being serious.
But that's my point, Ahmed.
Mm-hmm.
Acheampong is not getting the same hype. So
There's that Moroccan kid. Like, I know he's like really young. I'm not gonna talk about him too because like I don't like to do that sort of stuff because that's not my sort of footballing thing. But like, there's like a young kid I know that's like
I know.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
I've heard of him too. And
Yeah,
that's my point, Ahmed.
yeah.
Acheampong is not getting that hype. So to be
That is
linked to
fair
Real
enough.
Madrid and PSG doesn't make sense
yeah,
to me.
it doesn't
Sign
make
the
sense. I get
contract.
that.
Listen, even if he doesn't want to stay at Chelsea, sign the contract, play your games for the season, and then leave. So at least then you
Yeah.
have a platform of work to show. It's like, it just doesn't make sense. He's being advised poorly. He's being advised.
Yeah, it seems like that. Like, I don't want to say it's money. I don't think it's money. I think it has a lot to do. Rabaj, I think that's the guy you guys are talking about. The
yeah.
Moroccan kid.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. The reason why I don't want to mention his name because he's like a young lad. I don't like. That's not my sort of thing, bro. I don't like that stuff. On even
Yeah, me neither.
think he's doing that.
Um,
you know who I want to give example to? That's like I think it's similar age to him. Shim Maheka, right? Isn't the striker kid that's really highly rated at the academy? I know about. Like I've heard about.
I've heard of him.
You remember he was actually on the Conference League bench
Yeah.
when we were placing
Oh,
Mason
okay.
Noah. But he didn't obviously get to come on.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
right? But like he's another one which I've known about, which people have spoken about before. Like they were like, yeah, this guy's gonna come to the top and everything like that. Gonna go to the top eventually. So like again, there's like guys have. I think Prime's point kind of is valid. I'll give him that.
Yeah,
Bro, you're
with the
missing out.
validity of the link.
Even the guy that stuff. He's at Newcastle. Not Livamento had some hype, but like Lewis Hall had a lot of hype. By the way, guys, that's someone
And the thing is, right, Ahmed, Marshall, Acheampong's already made his debut for Chelsea. You played for Chelsea already, so it's not like a Ratsaki where you're just getting like squad
Sub minutes and all
match
that
day
stuff.
squad
Yeah.
appearances. You're not really getting it. You've made your debut. There's a
Mhm.
spot at right back for you because the Sassy's ass, Gusto's hasn't played well, and we assume Reece James is injured. So there's a spot to potentially play right now.
Mhm. But
Your
that's where-
profile suits the back three. I don't get what the problem is.
And yeah, and that's where, like, I think it's what you said. I think Ahmed alluded to this. It's whoever is negotiating, whoever is the manager, is guiding him wrong, in my opinion. Listen,
maybe something changes, Marshall.
maybe, but I might be looking at this from blue tinted glasses, right? It's very possible I'm looking at this from blue tinted glasses, but to me, it seems like a pretty straightforward decision. Reece James is indefinitely out because we don't know how often he's going to get injured, but there's always you're guaranteed that he's going to get injured at some point. Malagusto can't play all the games. In Conference League, you Josh Acheampong should look at Axel Disasi in that right back position, the position that you want to play, and say, hey, I'm a lot better than that guy. I can definitely prove that I can play over him. If you don't see it that way, I just don't know what to tell you. It's very strange. You think even if they are real linked, do you think you're going to get playtime or more playtime at Real Madrid or PSG? Is it the money? Like, is it the length of contract? Is it the playtime? Like, it's very confusing.
It has to be playtime, Marshall. I think the problem he's having,
but that goes back to, like, this is the reason why I question if it's playtime, because me and you can both look at that Conference League team and the FA Cup team and understand, like, okay, Josh Acheampong can definitely be better than Axel Disasi and can get playtime, and already has, to be honest.
No, Marshall. I get what you're saying. I agree with you. I think the word on the street, if I remember correctly, was to do with playtime. That's the whole reason why he's not signed a new contract. Like, he's worried about the game time he's going to get at the club,
and he shouldn't be, in my opinion, which is why
for me,
it's very strange.
And so that's the reason I think why. Because like I think at the time when we initially heard about the stuff about him, I think it was because obviously Reece James was there and then Gusto was there, right? And then obviously they obviously had some other players that were in that position that could play too. So That is what it was. If I'm not mistaken, obviously I could be, trying absolute waffle. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, but I feel,
No
but
surprise there.
I'm not. All right, shout out Marshall. But like, I'm 90% sure.
Yeah. No, I get it. But listen, we're gonna be obviously keeping this on the radar and giving you guys updates as to what's going on with the situation. Hopefully, we hear something before January. Because if we're going into the January transfer window and there's been no update on this, then I think the signs are there that he's going to be leaving Chelsea. Yeah, I agree.
Quick question, Marshall. Are we going to talk about that transfer window in this at all? Like, what's going to happen? Or what?
Well, let's start off with this one, right?
I'm just going to ask you. I don't know if there's a topic. That's
No. We do have transfer topics, and the first one that I wanted to bring up was Enzo Fernandez to Atletico. So we have a small link that came out during the international break, obviously before yesterday's game, and it was from ESPN Argentina. Chelsea midfielder Enzo Fernandez has become Atletico Madrid's great desire for the January transfer market. I don't think this is going to happen.
I believe that.
But let's entertain it. I mean, why do you believe it, Chris?
Enzo Fernandez, he just suits Atletico Madrid, starter
He
player.
suits Atletico Madrid.
I think he's trolling. Yeah, you're trolling.
He must be trolling. Well, go Marshall.
I got Ahmed in at least.
Go Marshall. There's actually like a topic. I don't know if you guys.
They want to steal all our midfielders, man. They stole Gallagher.
No. So there's like there's a rumor on the street that this could be Thingy's last season as the manager of Atletico, Diego Simeone.
Oh shit, that'd be crazy.
Yes. So there was I think it was a really big news report just before the international.
They can pay 140 million.
Right, and it was saying that he's growing tired, he's losing the energy at Atletico, and
How long's he been there for? 12 years.
They're thinking about what's it called? Obviously, him calling it quits there.
Yes.
Which I thought was interesting because if that's the case, then this kind of makes sense if you're planning to bring in a new manager for the squad, right? Maybe this new manager you're planning to tap on once a guy like Enzo in the team. Maybe that's the only thing I can think of, bro.
I'll be honest though, even these small rumors of Enzo Fernandez potentially going to Real Madrid, I could see that. The only thing that makes me not believe it's true is the transfer fee. I just don't think Madrid are going to pay a transfer fee for him. They'd rather get him on a free. But I could see them going for Enzo Fernandez to replace the profile, which was Toni Kroos. But Atletico, I can see them coughing out money. They coughed out a lot of money for Julian Alvarez last season. I can see them coughing out money for Enzo Fernandez. It's potential. Especially if what Ahmed is saying is true. If Simeone were to leave this season, then we're talking about a new manager coming in. Who that could be, I don't know. But a new manager coming in, he's going to want a different style of play. He's probably going to want different players than Koke and whoever the hell else they have in the Atletico side. That's totally completely Simeone ball.
Lorente, Gallagher.
Gallagher doesn't play. The guy doesn't even start there anymore. No, he used to actually.
Does he not?
Regular starts actually. He's not been he's like really irregular. Like he starts sometimes he doesn't start. He's having like a mixed start to the season. I'll be honest.
Rotating player.
I
was pretty close. He was almost there for 12 years. No, almost 12 years. He's been there for 13 years or so.
That's what I'm saying. So
a long time.
He's won a few things there. Not bad.
Yeah, no, he's had a good run. I mean, that's honestly, any manager's dream is to have a job like how Simeone had. Imagine you don't have to worry about what club you got to go to. You just do your job. You show up to the office. You got a statue built after you.
It's depending how you run as a manager. Some managers don't mind being a merchant and just going on to the next club, and just get paid.
Fair enough.
You do get a paid out fee as well if you do get sacked early. Look how much we pay Potter.
Kante.
He's the highest paid manager, right? In the thingy, in the world, right?
Simeone?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
No, Arteta.
I don't know, maybe if it's a new one, but I know he was the one that was getting the most paid per year.
Yeah, for a while I did hear that, so there is validity to that. But I mean, Enzo Fernandez, Atletico Madrid, the way I see Atletico Madrid right now, I don't see him fitting in. I don't see that being a good move for Enzo Fernandez. But if Simeone were to leave at the end of the season and then they bring in a new manager, a new face, maybe. And I don't think it would happen in January. Big Sam Allardyce at
Yeah.
fucking bro. Take a rest, Chris.
Allardyce.
Sam. Oh my days. Okay, so let's go on to the next link that I never really got a chance to speak on this.
Sorry.
I never got a chance to really speak on this, and I'm actually curious what you guys think. I've heard nothing but good things about him. I don't really watch him that closely, especially because he's in a relegation team right now. But Ait Nouri. Now, this has been going on for a while now, right? Like, this is just, I guess, me bringing it back up to discuss. But there were links for a hot minute, especially earlier in this month, about Ait Nouri. Sources told us that Ait Nouri is of major interest to Liverpool and Chelsea, as well as other clubs around Europe.
Molyneux.
This is coming up from the Molyneux News. Also, it was brought up in the summer as well. We were linked to Ait Nouri. And yeah, I mean, at that point, some people kind of liked the signing. Some people were iffy on the signing, and I'm revisiting it. How do we feel about Ait Nouri? Because I'll be honest, this season,
I've heard good things, some good things about him.
from what I've heard, Ait Nouri has been one of the few bright lights of Wolves.
But then what happens to Vega, by the way? What happens to Vega?
I don't know about that one, Chief.
No, I've heard a few things from him.
No.
But we have Vega.
The vast majority of the stuff that I've heard about them is their attackers, and that's obviously not Ait Nouri. That's obviously the Strand Larsen, Cunha, and that brother that they got, Andre, has been really decent apparently. That's what I've heard from one of the street. And then that they've got this young lad that they got from the academy, who's a midfielder that's been doing crazy work apparently. That they had to bring in by injury, that's been playing really well.
Molyneux News.
That's what I'm saying. Like Molyneux News, man.
Marshall. I'll be real. Put the fries in the bag, bro. Cook.
Do you think it's happening, Marshall?
You guys want to run this show? Do you guys want to put together a 3-hour show with no minerals? Tell me what you would do. Do you not want to entertain some hypotheticals? Motherfuckers out here judging, but I don't see any of you running a 3-hour live podcast on news where we get to talk about different topics and different ideas and hypotheticals. And guess what? You know what's going to be really funny? What happens in the summer when this actually comes to fruition? Guess who talked about it first? Casually FC. And guess who were the critics? This guy and this guy. Have some shame.
Why are you only seeing like the black guys in the stream?
These are the ones that are the most critical.
Marshall, everyone knows Casually FC is known for reporting news 5 months after it's broken. Ait Nouri's been linked to Liverpool for like 2 months now. So
yeah, and Ait Nouri was linked to us 2 months ago too.
Would you take him?
There's some validity to the link. Just because it comes from Molyneux News doesn't mean it's all waffle. Yeah, I get it. It's not the most trustful fucking resource, but hey, there's links.
I'm just saying that you said you're the first to break the news when in reality you're like the last.
I didn't say I was the first.
But Chelsea,
I said in the summer when we revisit this and these links come to fruition and the Athletic is reporting it, all of a sudden we're linked to it. You're gonna remember this conversation where in November of 2024, the 24th, on a Sunday, I brought up again Ait Nouri from the Molyneux News to entertain a conversation, and y'all laughed at me. That's all I said.
Chelsea.
Marshall.
He's not linked to Chelsea. He's linked to Liverpool and Man United. He's not from Chelsea.
He's been linked to Chelsea before.
Right there. But Marshall,
where would you take it?
Okay, yeah, that's a good.
So before we had Vega, he was linked to Chelsea. This is just a resurfacing link.
I know, but where would he play?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Go on, Mark.
Left wing back or right wing back?
We don't play with wing.
Left or right? I mean, we play with a hybrid. Like, I mean, our wing backs are very versatile. Like, come on now. Like yesterday, we had Cucurella playing as a winger, pretty much.
Does he play over Cucurella?
No, that's not the conversation. I'm just asking you guys: would you entertain it? And you're based on what you're asking me is no.
I would not entertain that signing.
Marshall, the problem why we ask you that question is because we like to think of you as a logical gentleman, right?
I don't. I don't.
All right. Okay, then. So,
all right, hold on. Let's go around the horn. We'll start with Prime. Prime, do you think I'm implying we should bring in Ait Nouri?
Ahmed, finish your question. Go on.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, no, Marshall.
Speaking of logical,
so Marshall, I like to think of you as a logical person, and like,
No, you don't,
Sure.
Ahmed. Don't.
like the problem I'm having is just that I know you're a smart guy. Why would we go for Aït-Nouri, bro? Can I just ask you that question? I just want to ask you. Why would
the same way you want to go for Dallo as a backup, bro. I'm just entertaining a conversation. Stop this. I am not saying I want Aït-Nouri. I never rated Aït-Nouri. I'm just saying, hey, do any of you guys want Aït-Nouri? If I had said, do any of you guys want Dallo, you would have hitting me with the same fucking logic. Like, why would you want Dallo? Hey, tell me, Marshall, I think of you as a logical guy. Why would you want Dallo? And then all of a sudden, I'm having this conversation with Ahmed on the panel, and Ahmed's like, oh, I would love Dallo. Sometimes some of you guys want players that none of us want. That's why. For fuck's sake.
Hey, can you imagine?
all right,
can you imagine that?
Let's go. The Marshall's talked about Dello, and the reason why I mention Dello all the time is because he can play. He can play as a right back, and that's what we want.
And you said to sign him as a backup.
Yes, and that is logic in action, because if Acheampong doesn't sign a good
that's
friend,
why everyone agrees with you.
Yeah, that's why if Acheampong doesn't sign a contract, we should be looking for someone to compete with Dello, with Gusto, right? Or to be his backup, right? And listen, Dello can be a competent backup. Now we can disagree.
Yes, Dallo is going to come from starting at United.
Wait.
That the wages he has, and he's definitely going to agree to come to Chelsea as a backup.
Ahmed, Marshall's deflecting, by the way. Marshall, do you want Aït-Nouri to be backup?
No, especially now with the players that we have.
But I'm asking. Let's go back to this.
It's not about if
Marshall, logically speaking, does he fit in our team?
I could see how he could fit in our team. Yeah.
How does he fit in our team, Marshall? Come on.
Based on the profile.
Let's use logic, Marshall. We play 4-2-3-1. All right. Left back position. There's 2 spots there already. All right. Vega and Cucurella. Where else does he fit, Marshall?
Okay. Based on the logic, I'm not going to go down the line of questioning that you asked me. I'm going to tell you based on the logic how I can see him fitting in the team. We currently have a right back in Malo Gusto that Enzo Maresca's insisting on playing as a 10. Aït-Nouri is very, very attacking output minded left back. If by some miracle or whatever he were to come in, I could see how a attack-minded left back could fit into the Maresca system. Instead of inverting Malo Gusto, you invert Aït-Nouri into a 10 position and have him do attacking and overlapping and all that stuff. I could see how he fits. Do I want him? Not really. I'm happy with Cucurella, and I'm really happy with Renato Vega. I'm just asking the question.
So Marshall,
clearly, none of you want him.
Hey, Marshall, do you expect to be stuck
I'm not getting cooked.
But Marshall, when was the last time that Malo Gusto played as a right-hand-sided 10 in a right-back position? When was that?
Arsenal.
When did that happen?
Literally Arsenal.
Yeah.
He plays as a left back, bro. No, or am I cooking? I thought Aït-Nouri was a left back. No.
Aït-Nouri, I think, can play both.
Oh, if you meant Gusto, I thought you said he played left back.
No, I'm talking about Aït-Nouri.
I thought you were talking.
I'm saying Aït-Nouri is known as a left back. When has he played right back? That's what I'm asking you.
When he's not saying play left back, though, I don't think.
No, he's saying to him play as a right back. Yeah, and I'm saying to you, when has he ever played as a right back that does the inverted thing?
He hasn't. I rate Aït-Nouri. I think he's a quality attacking wing back, which is why he would make more sense for Man United and Liverpool. For Chelsea, the way we use our fullbacks doesn't make sense for us to get Aït-Nouri.
See, some of you guys think I'm waffling. Here, I'll show you.
Who said you're waffling?
I mean, we've been on this
I know.
segment.
I didn't expect. I mean, honestly, I kind of wanted this, but
you know what it is, Marshall. You know what it is, Marshall. I know you like to work.
They're not the most reputable, but there's multiple links to us with Aït-Nouri.
You know what it is, man. Marshall wants to work us, like a horse for 3 hours, and he's got the whip out on the young black bulls. It's all right, man. It's all right, Marshall. We get it, man.
Hey, they put links out there. It's happening. Well, not happening.
It's been out there, but I'm just saying.
Hey,
and it's resurfaced.
That's fine. No one denied the link.
It's interesting, man. Marshall ends up a lot in common, man. Whipping coaches.
All I asked is what you guys thought of it. I never said I wanted him.
We gave you our opinions. Now we asked you what you thought.
I don't think we need him anymore.
Okay.
Thank you. For
Prior to Renato Vega, I would have probably entertained it. I thought it would have been like, okay, this I could see this being a good signing. Do I rate him highly? Not really, but that's coming from ignorance, right? But with Renato Vega now and how I've seen him, like I think I'm fine on Ait Nori. Like if Liverpool want to go for him, go to town. That's, you're probably better off there because Robertson's not going to last much longer. Simicast is yet to be seen if he's going to be really taking that mantle when Robertson eventually leaves the club. But Ait Nori, I could see him being suitable to that. But they also might be thinking of it in the perspective of like, oh, Klopp, rock and roll football, and Ait Nori is all attacking. Like, I don't know if he's going to suit Arne Slot. But time will tell. He's based on what people are saying. Based on what people are saying, like he's a quality player, especially. Well, he's grown into a quality player. So time will tell with this one. But okay, Ait Nori links. Everyone is opposed, so I get it.
Put the fries in the bag, bro, Marshall, man.
Put in the fries in
time,
the bag.
I want some real sauces, Marshall. I want can you get at least some legit sauces? Molly New News, mate. You might as well start calling the British 258 News. You know what I mean? Or Casually Sauces. You might just say Casually Sauces, bro. I'll be so real.
I bet you would like that. I bet you would like if I used you as a source on the show. I bet you would like it.
Let's say Casually Sauces, man. You might as well say Casually Sauces, bro. When you say Molly News, bro.
Anyways,
Hey,
we're going on to the next topic.
Marshall, it's not too late to go uni, bro.
Oh,
Oh, you get the English joke. You understand that joke?
Yay! Marshall, don't take that, big man. Don't take that, big.
I have a bachelor's degree, so you can go fuck yourself.
Oh, Marshall doesn't understand the joke.
Enzo Maresca on Reece James's injury. We didn't have an update on Reece. We have to wait. He will do a scan again, and we will see. And this is yesterday. He was asked this in terms of Reece James. We have a little bit of an update. 2 days ago, Matt Law came out and says it is understood that Reece James is devastated over his latest injury setback, with the club doing everything they can to support him. We could go on and continue here. Reece James will have a scan on Saturday to determine how long he is likely to be ruled out for his latest hamstring injury. And then we get an update here that it is believed that some swelling around Reece James's hamstring prevented Chelsea from fully scanning until Saturday. And then the change of plan now is that Reece James will get a scan next week to find out how long the latest hamstring will keep him out for. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. This one right here is a big giveaway. I'm pretty sure he's going to be out for at least until January. I think he's going to miss the month of December. It's safe to say. So again, it's frustrating, but it is an update on the Reece James situation. And yeah, I'm not saying we need to have these conversations again, but there is an update, and it's not looking like it's going to be a simple one. Usually, inflammation means some type of tear or bad pull in the area. So yeah, it's looking peak for Reece again. It's just sad to see. But I mean, you guys, I'm sure you have your thoughts on this. What are they? Let me know.
Let me find my shades.
You know what it is, man. You know what it is, Marshall. I'm gonna be so honest when I say this. This is why we need to go right back in January. And I'm not trolling. I'm not doing the gimmick thing. If Acheampong's not going to sign a contract, and respectfully, with Acheampong, he's still going to need time to develop and stuff like that. You know, this is why we need to get. This is why we need, and I've said this before. We need to be, you know, as I like to say, handling get a new right back. You know me, Marshall. I said we should have gotten one in the summer, and you were like, Ahmed, you're doing too much. You know, we shouldn't get one. But we need to get a right back in the summer, bro. There's no other way, two ways about it, bro.
Is this the Bridge 258 sources?
I don't know.
No, I'm just saying in general, bro. Like, you know, this is.
You can find the receipts because I don't know if I ever said that.
Ahmed, the reason why, well, for one, people were against your right back takes because you said that, but regardless, the reason why I was against us buying a right back in the summer was because I figured, regardless of what was happening with Reece, I figured Acheampong would be playing by now, and he hasn't because of the contract stuff. So, just unfortunate. But yeah, you're right. If Acheampong doesn't sign, we need a right back. But again, I think Fofana should be converted into a right back.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
I think in that back three, Fofana works as a right back, and let Cucurella do the inverting.
Yeah.
I think it all depends on if Badiashile can get into form as well, though. Because if he can get into form until like January or something, he's looking good. Then we probably don't need another right back at all. Probably not.
Even if Badiashile can't get into form,
Yeah.
then just play Vega as at centre back with Cole, or buy another centre back.
Yeah, it might work. I mean, with another centre back, I do want another centre back, to be honest. But like, I kind of like Fofana right centre back anyway, because we do like one of our fullbacks to stay back, and I think Fofana does that really well, and Cucurella does really well in Burton.
Yeah, and I don't disagree, especially. Go ahead, Prime.
I just want to say, you can also play Caicedo at right back, have him invert, and play Cucurella as part of the back three.
Yeah, I mean there is some flexibility, and with Caicedo too, that's one that in this run of games, I wouldn't mind if Maresca decided to experiment and try it out. But going back to what you said with Fofana, at first I was kind of opposed to it, but once you said just have Cucurella invert, then I was a little bit more open to it, because I feel like having Fofana at right back, he has the ability to run up the pitch. I think he has some pace on him, which is not bad, but I don't trust him to be able to link up play and cross the ball as efficiently as like how Cucurella has linked up play on his side, or how like a Malagusto can do that on the right side. But if you just have him strictly be like a right center back and then a right back, I don't mind that. A more defensive minded one, like, that's not a bad shout. But again, Chris is right though. It does depend strongly on Badiashile's form, which I'm not holding my breath on that one.
You know,
time will tell.
Was it West Ham?
I believe it was West Ham, yeah.
When Fofana played as the right back, and he was able to get forward at times and link up well. So
He did.
I think that, yeah, you're right. I think I would like to see more of a pool of games to see if he can actually do a good job of linking up play. But if we're going to just keep him as a defensive minded right back, then I don't mind it at all. If you're going to push him into the attacking positions, though, that's where I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, it might just rotate between him and Cucurella. He might do it a couple of times, but Cucurella be doing majority of the inverting and overlapping and whatnot.
This is true, to be honest. I haven't seen Gusto shooting crosses in a very, very long time. That's actually
it's been a while.
I just think,
Oh well, no, we've seen Gusto shooting. He just shoots like really far out and straight into the defense.
I just think, guys, how about we just buy a right back? You know what I mean? How about we just buy a player that can play the position?
I don't know if this
how about that? How about fucking that? Hey, how about fucking that?
You know, there's a bit of aggression here.
Again, like, you guys need to think logically. It's not about finding a right back. It needs to be someone that can actually play the system.
Inverting role. Which again, that's. Go ahead.
There makes sense because essentially it's a back three. You play with a back three.
Mm-hmm. I think Fofana could work. I think there also is like the buy a right back situation, which, to be fair, I think the club. I don't think it'll be in January. I think in the summer the club will look for a right back, but it won't be a known talent. We both know this. It's going to be.
I know. That's why
youngster.
That's why I scouted a youngster already that the club can just get now. How about
and to be fair to the club, they were trying to find a young right back.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So sorry. I'm so sorry.
I had one earring.
I'm always losing. I'm just losing, man. Every time I win, I just lose.
It's FIFA in a nutshell. But
not FIFA. It's actually not FIFA. I just literally reacted to something crazy. I was playing Sekiro.
Peggle.
Okay. Oh well, that's Samurai FIFA. Anyways,
Fuck off.
So.
Oh my.
Oh man.
I fucking can't. This guy's a fucking. Anyways, what I was saying, to give credit to the club, in the summer, we were trying to get a right back in Pedro Lima, but unfortunately, it was hijacked by Wolves.
Yeah.
So the
but
plan
again,
is there.
That was another kid,
Yeah.
and in theory, it would have been a good thing not getting him if Acheampong had just signed the contract.
No.
Yes.
No, we're not doing this.
The Gilchrist is actually
Hey,
playing as a centre back, by the way.
You
At
don't
Sheffield
want
United.
Gilchrist,
Tricks,
No.
he's been playing as a centre back. He's been playing as a centre back, by the way, Tricks.
He hasn't been playing as a centre back.
No, I thought that was what they were saying. Wasn't sure he was playing centre back.
Honestly, I don't know.
I have
Well,
no
at
idea.
Sheffield United, he's not been playing as a
I
centre back.
refuse to watch Alfie Gilchrist.
No,
Let me see if I can find his sofa score.
Because like from the way people were talking, they were saying that he's playing a centre back. That's why.
Well, he is a centre back.
He's been playing at right back.
Oh, okay.
It's weird seeing him play right back. He hasn't got a build for it.
I'm
This
just
is
looking up, bro.
interesting.
I watched a comp of him. Someone put out on Twitter, and
Oh my
a lot of
God,
that-
Prime is right. He has been playing at fucking right back.
bro. You know why I know this? Because someone put out a comp of him doing well at Sheffield United. A lot of his actions were at right back.
What the fuck? This is crazy.
Dang.
Season heat map. Here, let me show it for you guys.
I guess Chelsea tricked him thinking he's a right back. Oh, no.
I guess. I still don't want him at the club, to be so fucking honest.
Oh, no,
with you.
not
I
a
don't
right
think
back.
I don't
Full
think he's
centre
good enough. But yeah, it's his season
On
heat
that right
map
side.
for Sheffield United. It's all right. All right sided. It's actually kind of crazy. Holy crap. But I still don't think he's good enough. I really don't think so. Well, you know, listen, time will tell. Maybe he does step up when he comes back to Chelsea. I doubt it, but maybe he does. I just don't see him also doing an inverting role. Like that's
Arsenal hating a
too
common
much.
player. Mission Impossible.
Just that one. But yeah, it's I don't think this is gonna be the signing. But I mean, it's not a bad shout, to be honest, Trick. So big up. But yeah, I think we're gonna go back on the market to find a young up and coming talent at the right back position. There are some links out there too, but not too many
Okay, Marshall, let me
repetitive ones where
to be fair,
I can say
he
there's
actually
some trend.
He actually is doing well at Sheffield United, and which is why I said
Which is why you said
last
what time?
year with Gilchrist, he's going to be part of the pure profit gang. Gilchrist is doing well at Sheffield United, which is why I said last year he's going to be part of the pure profit gang.
Yeah, I could see that. And I think he still will remain as a Pure Profit Gang member. But that's that in terms of what we just spoke of right there. Let's go on to the next topic I wanted to bring up as well, which is there's been a bit of an injury update with Pedro Neto. As far as we're aware of what's going on with Pedro Neto, well, hopefully it's a small injury and nothing major. We found out yesterday that Pedro Neto got a kick during the international break that he hasn't been able to shake off, and Malo Gusto was ill. So hopefully it's nothing serious. I think all of us wanted to see Pedro Neto start last night, so we were a little bit, upset to not see that happen. But hey, I mean, we still won the game. It's all fine and dandy. But a bit of an injury scare, just a bit of an update. Thoughts, ladies and gents, on Pedro Neto's scare or whatever? I don't think there's really much to talk about on this one. Just hopefully he's fine by next week. But figured I'd pass the floor or the mic or, whatever.
Hey,
He's gonna be back up at Aston Villa. Let's keep it pushing.
I just heard hey, and I didn't hear the rest of that if you said something, Prime. But all right, we move. Yeah, there's not.
I didn't get to speak.
Yeah, what did you want to say?
He's trolling you. You're getting trolled. Hold that, Marshall.
I was going to speak, but Ahmed's being Ahmed.
Yeah, you know what? Let's remove Prime, Marshall. How do you feel about that? We don't want to hear him speak anymore. Thank you. See? No one wants to hear you speak.
Prime, do you have something you want to say, or can I move on to the next topic? Because this is not really much to talk about here. Also, what international game? I don't know. Maybe it was who did he play in international duty? Actually, I forgot to ask.
He only played the first game, and he got sent back after that because they didn't
Poland?
need him in the second game.
Was it Poland?
I think so.
Okay, so maybe he got a knock during the Poland game, where freaking Portugal just.
There's a lot of guys there,
Demolished
man,
them.
that are fucking humongous out in Poland, bro. You know what I mean?
Hey, yo, pause, lava.
There's nothing to say. There's no lava there, man. There's no lava, man. If you want to say lava, man. But I don't want to say lava.
Okay, we're gonna move on, ladies and gents. That's
looking at Polish minutes, please.
that's a bit of an update on Neto. He is injured at the moment, but it's nothing too serious. Hopefully, he comes back by the next game for Villa. I think this is a moment in the stream where I tell you guys, hey, if you haven't done so already, smash up the like. If you are new here, subscribe to the channel, and if you're already subscribed, consider becoming a member. Helps out tremendously. Listen. News has been a bit dry, obviously, with international break and all. We're finally going to be back to just making content. We're just reviewing the games and stuff. We still have the Casually Chelsea show. And regardless of all that, we still are going to give you the 3 hours that will help you get through your day and all. So if you do appreciate that, I appreciate that you appreciate that. And I would love it if you guys smash that like. And another player that I want to appreciate while we're in this appreciation space, right, is... I mean, let's just hold on. Let's have it right. All right. Let's just.
Cucureya, hits paella, he drinks estrella.
The best left back in the English Premier League right now.
Bro,
let's go ahead and discuss it. I know it is. Marco Cucurella has won. It's not as cringe as the drunk one. Marco Cucurella has won over Enzo Maresca and Chelsea. No longer see a new left back as a priority in the near future, which was an issue for us when the whole Chilwell thing happened, right? Cucurella, I think that the fans did. I think what the fans did was special. Singing my song. I have worked hard to have these moments, and the fans believe in me. We came from tough times, and yeah, I mean, if we want to revisit 2022, 2023, no one. I mean, you have the leader of the anti, Cucurella cult right here. He was getting booed. People didn't like him. People wanted him gone. I don't think it's over the top to say people fucking hated him.
He was hated by definitely a big part of the fan base at the ground, even online as well.
Yeah,
I'm glad I didn't fall into that side because I felt like
me
he
neither.
had a proper chance, to be honest.
And,
he had a hell of a Euros.
Keep slurping, man. Keep slurping.
Yeah, I will, man. He's the best left back in the Premier League.
Huh?
The guy.
I don't think he realized what he said. I don't think he realized what I said.
Yeah, I know
I think he leaned into it.
Yeah, man. Hey, big up to Mr. Slurp.
Unlike the guy who wanted him gone and wanted Delort just to replace him at left back.
Listen, man. Cucurella, yeah? Don't worry, man. The streets will remember I was always right. I know, man.
Just call him Mark. I'm just saying, we can start that. Just call him Mark.
The only guy I can call Mark is Marcus Alonso. There we go, mate. And he's a UCL winner.
Come on now. This guy won a Euros.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus Alonso won a Premier League and the UCL. What's he won?
Euros.
You really
one Euros is gonna try.
He did not win that Champions League. He did not win that.
Ahmed's being shameless.
He did not
win
that. What did he do? What did he do?
He played in the group stages. That's what he did. So listen, bring the group stages.
Well, as a sub.
Yeah, man.
Didn't Cucurella have a man of the match performance in the round of 16 against Dortmund?
He was man of the match.
Has Alonso ever had a man of the match performance?
He was man of the match in the final.
What did that lead to, man? No trophies.
He was man of the match in the final.
Sans beaches, as they say.
See, look what you did. You got Prime stuck out laughing with you. All right, he's not stuck anymore. The timing of that was horrible.
No, I wasn't stuck. I'm just, at least we can all agree that Fraud Palmer didn't win the Euros for England. So.
Oh wow.
That's just devious behavior right there, Prime. But hey, listen, going back to this, right? I really can't think of another left back in the Premier League that's been better than Cucurella.
I don't think anyone's close.
Man United. I was watching the terrace today. Man United fans think Mazraoui is better. I was watching the terrace, and they said that they wouldn't take a single Chelsea defender.
Okay, now that's deluded.
You know what's funny about that now? Like, they're not even going to be using him at left back.
They said Lenny Yoro, a guy who hasn't played a single minute, is better than Fofana and Colwell.
Of course he is. Ridiculous. Here's the thing. With Mazraoui, I can see the argument. But Mazraoui only just came into the league. Let's see how it happens for the rest of the season. Because Cucurella has been playing like this since last season. He's
by
been
the way,
very
he's not
consistent.
Left back no more.
Who, Mazraoui? He's playing left wing back, yeah.
No,
I can still-
no, it's the lock. He's playing right centre back. He was today.
No, but we're talking about Mazraoui.
That's who he's talking about, bro.
Yeah, what's going on with you, Chris?
That's what Chris is talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about him. He's playing at right centre back.
Played right centre back today.
Yeah, he played at right centre back today. He's not gonna
Mazraoui
play.
plays right center back?
Yeah, that's why
was
I'm-
a wing.
No,
Yeah.
because
No,
they
today
new
was
system now, new system now.
Dallo was okay. Dallo was a wing back with what's his face? Diallo. That's
Yeah,
true.
Diallo.
Oh, okay, shit. We might not even see
No,
that.
I don't
then.
think he's going to be playing left back much.
No,
more.
you never know. You never know. You never
don't
know.
see
But
it.
hey,
Unless the
regardless,
lock is-
like he's better than Robertson this season. He's been better than Vardiol this season. He's been better than. Is Udogi the left back for Tottenham, or is it
Yeah.
Porro?
He is no. Poro's right.
Better than Udogi.
Well, yeah.
Better than Yorian Timber, or Calafiori, who has been injured and he's been inconsistent. Who else is there? I mean, I can't think of another left back that I would put in
Ryan
that conversation.
Antoine Robinson.
You know what I've noticed, guys? Am I the only one that's noticed that Marshall loves hating on players?
Hating on players? I mean, that's rich coming from you, Ahmed.
Yeah.
You know, listen, Marshall, the reality is Cucurella, bro. He's just he's a fullback. He's not a left back, bro. He's just a fullback, bro. He doesn't do anything going forward, bro. He can't cross the ball. He always has to take a touch inside every single time to control the ball. Can you just? You're from La Masia
Did you not go
Academy.
link up?
No, I thought you were from the La Masia Academy. Can't do that shit, can you, you little fool? Listen, man, he ain't good enough, man. He ain't good enough, man. And I stand by that statement. He ain't good enough, man. Put the fries in the bag, bro. You know what I mean? I want a better left back. There's a better left back out there.
Tell me the better left back. Tell me the better left back.
Who do you want?
Patrick Drogu. Lecce. From Lecce, we tried to buy him actually last summer.
I like Drogu, but he's not better than Cucurella currently.
He's better than Cucurella going forward. He will give me family meals. He will give me happy meals. He will give me baris and hilib. He will give me quesadillas. He will give me tacos. He will give me enchiladas. You know what I mean? He will give me. You know what I mean?
What's wrong with this guy, man?
He will give me the Tim Hortons breakfast. Breakfast was it called? Burger. That's what he will give me, man.
Ahmed, growing up, did you ever hear this saying that we have food at home?
I had to say it, but then I said we've got money. You know, I used to say to that, bro. Prime, we've got money in our pocket. How about that? That's what I used to say to you.
What money?
You know what I mean? We got money to buy for the food in it. So you know, you got food at home, yeah, but I've got money in my pocket. So why not just buy the food now?
Listen, we've got Cucurella at home, bro.
No, we don't, man. You know, Cucurella, man, he's not good enough, man. He's just not good enough, bro. He ain't got the skills to pay the bills.
We know.
No,
Also,
I didn't. I've never actually. Marshall actually knows this. I've always been thinking Cucurella is a good defender. Have I ever said anything about Cucurella not being a good defender?
You criticize his defending.
Only a little bit this season because I felt like he was doing a bit too much. What's the word for backing up? He was backing up way too much, a little bit. Yes.
You said that he can't cross, but you know, Spain won the Euros off of his cross.
It's a
And
shitty cross.
we got a goal. A cross is a cross, first of all. Doesn't matter what fucking quality cross. Like now we're really being meticulous. So look, it's a penalty goal. What are we gonna count it for? You know?
I don't
A
care.
goal's a
man.
goal at the end of the
Marshall,
season.
I
At
don't
the end
care,
of the
man.
day,
Marshall, yeah. You know
you
what
go
you're doing,
pick and
Marshall.
choose your battles, bro. You
know what
have
you're doing,
fun
Marshall?
being miserable.
You know what
Unlike you, Ahmed.
Marshall.
Unlike you, Ahmed. I actually am willing to change my position on someone based on how they're doing on the pitch, and that means
Marshall,
that
DBDX,
we get to have this conversation. Is Jackson that guy? Is Jackson that guy? Listen, soundboard fraud. We already know who the soundboard merchant is. It's not you, that guy. You are not that guy when it comes to the soundboard. But anyways, it is a good thing Chelsea did not succeed in their bid to sign Victor Osimhen back in the year's summer transfer window, according to Simon Johnson Sport. You can think you won, bro, but I'm sorry. Game over screen. The game over screen is perpetually going to be imprinted in your eyes.
The Bridge Nation always wins. Remember that.
Bro, the Bridge Nation has flawed engineering, and that nation has collapsed just like every other nation. The Roman nation, the Greek nation, the Ottoman nation. The Bridge Nation is just another. It's going to be another statistic very soon.
The Bridge Nation, man. That's
really wobbly Bridge Nation there. Anyways, it is a good thing Chelsea did not succeed in their bid to sign Victor Osimhen back in this year's summer transfer window, according to Simon Johnson. And then, since arriving in England, only Haaland and Watkins have scored more non-penalty goals than Jackson. And listen, this is where I go back to what I said. When he first came into the club, yes, I was critical of his extra touches in the box. I did label him as Touchy Jackson. And rightfully so. Yeah. Listen, unlike you, Ahmed, I'm not going to run away from any type of criticism. I'll admit that I criticized them, and rightfully so. I think most of us in the chat can agree that Nicholas Touchy Jackson was a thing last season. He did take extra touches into the box. He did take extra everything into the box. Let me land, because Ahmed wants to try to cook when he has no ingredients. But I am now coming back this season. I am seeing the improvement on the player. I did say, Jackson, if you improve on those touches in the box, if you can just shoot more, I had constructive criticism, unlike a certain Ahmed, and I like to highlight whenever he did those constructive criticism, whenever he improved on those things, the heading ability, the dribbling, all that stuff, and I come out wholeheartedly here, full screen. If I could zoom in the camera more, I'll zoom it in more. I came out and said, you know what? Jackson has improved. He is no longer Touchy Jackson. He is now becoming that striker I want him to be. And I'm at a point where I don't think I need to sign another striker. I think he can sign a striker that can compete with him. But I think we're fine with Jackson, and that he is going to be our top striker and potentially a world-class talent. I'm saying that with chess because I can revisit my points and make different points based on the knowledge and the stuff that is presented in front of me. And I think that's being fair, unlike you, Ahmed.
Marshall DBDX, yeah. The slot. Listen, I don't even give Kukura Salon the names, by the way. I just say he's just not good enough, by the way. That's what I've always been telling Kukura. The amount of slander names you came out with Jackson for fun, you were doing tricks with his name, bro.
Please tell me another nickname that came up for Jackson outside of Touchy.
Touche Jackson, you know what I mean? That's what you call him. You call him, yeah. You were calling him, yeah. He said it was twins of Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Of all the touchies.
I mean, he did do Michael Jackson celebration.
You know what I mean?
So he likes Michael Jackson.
Did
That's
do
not a bad
Thriller.
thing.
So Marshall, yeah, he was doing tricks on him every single week, bro, cussing him out, cooking him out, bro. And this is the same Marshall DBDX, yeah, that, you know, will give Havertz here the got 3,000. The Uckers Badders, as they say, you know what I mean, in the UK. If you know what Uckers Badders is, Marshall, that you are A1 of them, you know what I mean? You're like the king of the Uckers Badders, man, on Havertz. Like, you know what I mean? You give him that got 3,000 so much.
Ahmed, how's all those players you've been rating over the years? What's going on with Adringa?
You know what I mean?
What's going on with
Adringa's doing well.
Oh yeah, really? What's he been doing lately? What's he been doing lately? Because
he plays for Bayern. What are you talking about? He plays for Bayern. What are you talking about?
No one's talking about him. No one wants him in his club. He hasn't moved, right?
Brother,
So
he
no
has
one's
an
talking about him.
AFCON.
He
Have
hasn't.
shame. He has an AFCON. He won his country an AFCON by assisting a goal. What are you talking about?
Can I speak?
But when it comes to Cucurella, you want to discredit that.
Cucurella.
Yeah, they're winning this.
Cucurella! And he even says I don't call him names. Fucking fraud. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Go ahead, Prime.
Yes, Marshall. Like, it's weird because people we like to run jokes about like Marshall and him stuff with Jackson and stuff, but like I remember last year in February when I came on here and said, as much as I want Osimhen, if we don't sign him, I'm okay with Jackson being our striker for another season because I see the development within him. Marshall is the only one that really backed me on that point back in February. And then, is Marshall going to press the button?
I was going to, but I missed my timing. Go ahead.
Okay. And then, Marshall and I also had a conversation. It was probably preseason, I think.
Damn, you have a lot of conversations, Prime, man. What's going on there? Like,
I mean, he shows up to the show. I mean, we do this show once a week, twice a week. Yeah, you're going to have conversations, bro.
Anyways, Marshall, it was after a stream anyway. Marshall and I were having...
Oh,
or maybe it was
after a stream, Marshall. What is that? Is that in bed, Marshall?
No.
Anyways, it was either after a stream or during a stream when we were talking about Jackson and the whole Osimhen stuff. Actually, no, it was probably after the stream. And I was talking about Osimhen and saying that by the end of the season...
After the stream.
Bro, stop interrupting Prime. Go ahead, Prime.
Anyways, bypass the midfield. I remember Marshall and I were speaking, and I was saying that by the end of this season, Jackson will show to people why he's one of the best strikers in the world. And Marshall was agreeing with me that if we don't get Osimhen, Jackson can develop into the guy because we're seeing, as long as he finishes. Because I kept saying about Jackson, I don't even think necessarily he had to improve on his finishing. We just needed to give him more chances.
Mm-hmm.
We've done both. We're giving him more chances, better chances, but his finishing has also improved. Like against just the game against Leicester, I think he only got one chance really. He scored. I remember against Liverpool, one chance he scored. Against Palace, one chance he scored. Well, he got two chances, but his first chance he scored. Jackson's massively improving. He's becoming the best or the second best striker in this league. I said this at the beginning of the season that I don't want Isaac. Jackson's better. That a lot of these guys are not better than Jackson. Unless you can get me Osimhen or Haaland or maybe arguably Gyökeres. I don't want anyone else. I believe in Jackson. I trust Jackson, and Marshall was the one who was backing me on this since February. So regardless, like, yes.
Riding without a license.
Anyway, so yes, Marshall called Jackson touchy in the first half of last season. True. However, Marshall, with me, has seen the potential. So I get what you're trying to do, Ahmed. And normally I back you when it comes to Marshall slander. You know this. But with this one,
listen, the one thing you can't say about me, I've been. Oh, well, listen, I just wanted to add before you continue on. I'm just saying that one thing I want to say is that you can never criticize the British nation for not being Jackson day one. I always wanted that. That's another archetype.
Yes, we know. Yes, we know. We know you've been Jackson day one. The thing with Marshall is, and with me as well, we can admit when we're wrong. I didn't want Jackson at the beginning when we bought him. I said he's not good enough. But a couple of months in, I saw the development. Marshall, he saw the development since February. But with you, Ahmed, Chukwueze has been the best fullback in the world this calendar year, and you still don't rate him. You are the problem, not Marshall. You're the problem.
There's always better. As in the words of my father, there's always better.
Not in this case.
Yeah, not in this case.
Okay.
Big up to TM120. Go ahead, Prime.
There's always better, just like there's better nations than the Bridge Nation. But anyways, continue with the Super Cup.
There's always better primes than Ladimus Prime. You know what I mean?
Big up to TM127 for the $5 super chat. If Jackson keeps improving and scores at the rate that he has been, I'd much rather us get a top class left winger like Kvara if available next summer. TM, I'm sorry to tell you, I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, can we attack this point? I want to attack this point.
I think our top left. I think our top left winger is Neto. I'll be so real.
Yes, I agree with this take too.
I think our future long-term right winger is Esteval, and our left winger is Neto.
Exactly. I agree. I think the problem is, TM, with this comment is that, listen, ideally, would I like Kvaratskhelia at this football club? I'm pretty sure all of us would probably say yes, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I think the reality is, though, with the way we play, again, I've said this before, this week, like I said, the Leicester game is really cementing this for me, by the way, yeah? But we keep on playing these crosses into the box. I know a lot of people have noticed this, right? The way we play crosses consistently into the box, right? We need a different archetype of striker. It's not that Jackson's good or bad. It's just that we need another guy that's different from him. Because Jackson, the way Jackson plays as a striker is different to like the way for example, a Delap plays as a striker, right? In the sense of how they make, what they do in the box. They're two different strikers. It's like comparing Aguero and Drogba. Aguero was a short guy that could get in behind and had that pace. That's the type of striker he was. Drogba was a hold-up striker, could hold up play, could also get him behind. He was more complete, but you get what I'm saying to you, right? But he had a powerful head on him too.
Can I just say? So
go ahead, and then Chris.
You're comparing Jackson to Aguero, but you don't think Cucurella is a quality left back. It's crazy.
Listen, man. Again, if you want to keep on sucking off Cucurella, that's on you, mate.
No,
you
we're just holding you accountable for
you know
your
what I mean?
shitty lady.
There's a lot of listen. I know this. Listen, I know that semen has a lot of skin properties.
Why do you know that? Why do you know that?
Marshall doesn't know that I have an A-level in biology. Thank you for letting me know, Marshall.
Ahmed knows that because he's in upper battles.
Excuse me? Excuse me? How dare you call me an Uckers Batters, bro? Who do you think you are, mate? You know what I mean?
Chris, your thoughts on the super chat?
On the super chat, if he keeps improving, scores the rate he has. I mean, yeah, I think yeah.
You like Kvara?
No, no. I've been wanting him for a good while. It's him or Leao, but I've been like obviously now leaning towards more cover for sure. I think he's a good scoring left winger for sure. He can create, he can score. But I don't know if we'll get him, to be honest, because like you said, we have other wingers coming in. Neto's a good player. Who can play on the left wing or right wing, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'll still bring him in if we could get a good price from like 60 million or something to 70.
Wages too.
Chris, what is that current like left wing depth, right? So you've got Sanchez, obviously. I know Neto can play there. Then there's the Mudryk, right? That's basically the depth.
I mean, Mudryk's just
no, but it doesn't. It's just like I'm just doing depth, right? Depth chart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got Club World Cup, you know, but
yeah. Those are essentially the three guys that you've got, right, guys? Like
I don't see it happening, to be honest. Though, Ahmed. I actually
we
don't see it
know. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just saying that if we just look at it, right?
Sanchez, I mean, EPL turf. I wanted Leao a long while.
If you look at it, Sanchez probably gonna get signed for a what's it called? He's gonna get probably signed for a permanent because we're not gonna finish 14th. Unless something happens crazy, right? So he's a permanent, and then maybe Mudryk leaves this summer. Although I don't know how that's gonna happen, but maybe that doesn't happen. You know, then you're left with two. But if you're left with two, then I feel like the club will be like that's more than enough.
Yeah, I don't actually see him coming, but I did really want him. But like, we signed too many wingers, and there's more wingers coming, so I just don't see any point. I don't think Chelsea will be talking about him at all. Just at all. I know he's a great player, but it's just Chelsea have too many wingers, and all we have to look at really is a centre back, goalkeeper, and maybe another right back, and I don't know, another striker to compete with Jackson. We don't really have too many like spots to fill in at this point because we have a lot of players in our squad.
And I'll be honest with you, like I'm at a point with this club and its transfers that I'm over all the attacking and midfield transfers.
We don't need any midfield.
We really need to finally get that goalkeeper position settled. Yeah. Like we've had this conversation about having a proper keeper since Mendy's downfall. Like it's been a while now and we still haven't found like Mendy was that guy for about a season and a half, and then he just wasn't that guy anymore. And again, like we need to just solve that issue and put it behind us and just be done with it. Also, TM127, thank you again for the second super chat here. I just think next summer, Madueke, Mudryk, and Nkunku are gone, and I don't expect Esteval to start till 2026. So we might need another winger to come in.
I can see
That's why.
maybe Nkunku
That's
gone.
why
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna sell Madueke and Mudryk.
Exactly. I think you know what it is, Prime. I don't know about you. I think Mudryk leaves before Madueke. I genuinely think Madueke probably says one more season. That's always been my take. He says one more season while Esteval obviously acclimatizes. And if Esteval acclimatizes faster, obviously Esteval will be the starter. Then Madueke will be on the bench. But then that season afterwards should be
2027.
Holy snap! Oh, that's no way. That's true, bro. Oh my God.
What?
I'll tell you guys in private. I'll just tell you guys in private.
Anyways, yeah, but no, 2026. That will be. I think it depends because I think Mudryk is still rated higher, just based on the how much we paid for him and the expectation and the hype. We're giving a lot of time for Mudryk to actually develop. So I think he's rated higher, and plus
we have been pretty patient with him.
Mudryk is a left winger, Madueke is a right winger. So I think Madueke this season and next season will be make or break because you have Neto there who can play on the right. Neto can also play on the left, but Esteval's coming in. He's a right winger. We're not going to have 3 right wingers in the squad. So Mudryk, Madueke, it's up to you guys to fight it out to be in the team.
I disagree with both you guys. I think they need to be sold, and we have the space to, because we saw in this game against Leicester that João Felix played in the winger situation, but he actually came into as a second 10, and Cucurella was providing the width, and we can do that again. We also know Sancho has played left mid, left wing / right mid, right wing throughout his career, right? So he can play both positions. Same with Pedro Neto. So we're saying we don't have enough winger options, and João Felix can play anywhere in the attacking front. That's how he's played throughout his career. He's played as a 10 behind the striker, as a shadow striker. He's played at the wings in Atletico as well, and for Barcelona. Like he was a left winger at times for Barcelona when he was on loan. So we can get rid of Madueke and Mudryk, and we need a goal-scoring winger. Me and Scott have been saying this. We need a consistent goal-scoring winger. We keep on waiting for Madueke to get his decision-making correct. I don't have time to wait. If we come in third and we're the little horse, like Jose used to say before we won the league, I don't have time to wait anymore for development. And that would mean Jackson this season has scored probably close to 20 goals this season. So he's prime and ready. Palmer's prime and ready. Caicedo's prime and ready. I need a goal-scoring winger to help these, man. When Palmer's not at his best, like he hasn't been for the past few games.
Oh my God.
If that's true, I told you.
Oh.
Remember that.
Okay.
If it's true,
If it's
I told
true,
you.
yeah.
If it's true.
Anyways,
let's just leave it at that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Please.
So I saw the private chat, and this is why I said sell him. So that's the thing. Felix can play anywhere in the front line. We can get rid of. We keep on saying we don't have enough wingers. The whole point was these people are allowed to play multiple positions.
Versatile, yeah.
That's the whole point, right? Felix, we saw Neto playing great in left wing and play great at right wing. We see Sancho playing left and for Dortmund, right? Okay, relax. For Dortmund. Right mid, right? So I'm saying we have enough versatile players for Esteval to develop, and I think Esteval will, like the chat says, become a star in 2026. But we need a goal-scoring winger. And it doesn't have to be Krava, because here's the thing: Ancelotti's under fire, right? In terms of his season, and we don't know if Rodrigo might be the guy booted out of the squad, because that's what happened to Mesut Ozil and Di Maria. The new manager came in, and they wanted to leave because they didn't fit the manager's plans at that time. And we never thought Mesut Ozil would go to Arsenal or Di Maria to Man United. If Rodrigo's available, you go for him.
Well, where do you play Rodrigo?
left wing. He literally
Okay.
throughout his life, the reason why he doesn't play left wing is because Vinicius Jr. literally is the only person in front of him.
Let me push back on that a little bit, right?
Before
Like
before you even get to him, I was just gonna ask you. So you, on your list, CP, you would say get Rodrigo. That's your number one priority. Is that who your number one is? Do you have like a number two or three? It's like, or is it
No,
so?
no, I'm saying so these are my three signings, right? If you want to do priority, oh sure, I'll give priority
No,
numbers.
I mean like on just like a goal scoring guard specifically, of
Oh,
course.
sorry. Yeah, because I think he would still be cheaper than
Okay.
Kvaratskhelia. I'm saying this in a situation where he doesn't fit the new manager's plans, right? He would be cheaper than Kvaratskhelia, who's probably won the league with Conte, who signed a new contract, right? Compared to Rodrigo, who might, instead of costing 120 mil for Kvaratskhelia or 100 mil, might cost 80 to 70 mil. Let's just say like a number like that. That's more affordable. And he's still at a young age. He's 23. He's still 23 and has won 2 Champions Leagues and has come in clutch moments. So he knows how to score clutch goals. He knows how to score goals for his team. It's just that he before in Santos he used to be a left winger, right? It's just that he's not because Vinicius turned out so well during that time. He's played as a right wing. He's played as striker. He also fits our system of being versatile. He's played false nine. He for Brazil sometimes plays as a 10. He plays right wing for Madrid for 2-3 seasons, and his best position is left wing.
Just to push back on that a little bit. Here's the thing, and I don't disagree. Like I would like a Rodrigo to the team. I think that's fair, but I guess where I'm pushing back with is this idea of sell. Like if it doesn't work out, just sell. I think I agree with that in terms of Mudryk. I think Mudryk, over the course of the last 3 seasons that he's been at the club, or 2.5, fine, right? Because he came in during January transfer window. I've not seen enough for me to merit having him on the wages, especially considering what his price is with his release clauses. It's an expensive transfer that we paid for this guy who has not done enough. Now, I don't like to compare shit with shit, and I'm not saying this player's shit, but I'm just saying I don't like to do like comparisons. But on the other spectrum, for half the price, we got Nani. And although Nani hasn't been that consistent either in terms of the output, he has improved season after season. We have seen at his best what he can do. We have sat here and said he is the best dribbler in our team, and to this day he might still be. I think he's up there with either Neto or Jadon Sancho. It's like a tough decision to call which one's the best dribbler, right? But I think he still has redeemable attributes for half the price that we paid for Mudryk. I don't see why we can't just keep Nani and have him be a bench option if we were to get to like a Rodrigo and put him on the right or another winger. Why sell him? That's the thing that I'm kind of like bothered
Because
about.
I literally have players that can play his position too. If you want to talk about rotation and depth,
Well,
Sancho can play right mid
than-
as well. Sancho can play right wing, left mid, and right mid or winger, or whatever you want to say. Same with João Felix. Same with Pedro Neto.
But hold on, Curry. If you bring in Rodrigo, we know under Maresca that the competition at left wing is between Sancho and Mudryk.
Yeah.
That's what Maresca says. So you would be bringing in Rodrigo to replace Sancho.
Yes.
So that to me implies that you also don't rate Sancho.
No, it's not that. I'm talking about profiles because, like I said before in the past, is Neto for me is, if you want to put it this way, maybe this season he proves it. He's a playmaking winger for me, right? Because I haven't seen him score more than 5 goals in this league. Like statistically, he hasn't. He's gotten 11 assists. Right?
Yeah, he's gotten injury prone.
Right, he's great.
He's a creator as well.
Right, right. Same with Sancho. Sancho's another playmaker. We haven't seen Sancho score more than 10 goals in the league since Borussia Dortmund. No, because what he was good at during his time at Dortmund, the second loan spell, was once again, he didn't get the numbers, but he was a playmaker. He was opening up space. He was good in the half turn, right? He was doing all those things, right? So once again, we have a playmaking winger. We do not have a goal-scoring winger. And you could say Madueke might be that, that's fine. But if I can sell him and Mudryk to get the money for someone like Rodrigo, a proper goal scoring, clutch, amazing, everything. That's the same age, by the way. Madueke and him are the same age at 23. I'm choosing Rodrigo every time. I'm choosing Kvaratskhelia every time.
Well, yeah,
Right.
there's no debating on the Kvaratskhelia one. The
No,
Rodrigo,
there's no
even
debating on the
that,
Rodrigo one. There's no debating on the Rodrigo one.
I just feel like selling Madueke is a bit harsh. In
No,
my
it's not
opinion.
harsh. No,
I
it's
think it
not
is.
harsh because he hasn't
For the
done
price
enough.
that we
I
paid
don't
for him.
Marshall,
for the price
I
that
don't
we
care.
paid for him.
I don't care. We haven't paid
Curry,
prices
we
for
can't
our
we
youth
can't
players.
we can't sell every asset that doesn't show up to be world class. You
Yes, we
said
can.
sell
Yes, we
no,
can.
but we can't. No, Curry, you literally came on the stream multiple times. You're saying sell Levi Colwell. You said sell Enzo Fernandez. You said sell Nani Madueke. You said sell Mudryk. You want to sell half the team, bro.
Yeah,
We
and
can't
you know
do
what
that.
No. Yes, I can, because what did the stipulation said? The first season, I will give you a pass. The first season, even if you're from this league, I will give you a pass. But the second season, you better perform. I don't give a fuck. And if we're talking about us being back to our heyday, when we used to have fucking Andrei Shevchenko and he didn't perform for us for a season, we used to fuck him off and get the next striker. We used to get Fernando Torres, have him for 2-3 seasons, fuck him off to get Loic Remy. When we were winning the leagues, we had substitutes or people on the bench that would score
Yes.
10 goals in this league.
But
Loic Remy used to score
that-
10 goals in this
but
league.
I go back to what you're saying, right? Like that again was in a different era. Now
yes,
in
that's
this
the
current
winning era.
wait, hold on. Yes, the winning era. But now in this current era, we just spoke about it earlier. We literally have 5 weeks before, from after the Club World Cup till the Premier League starts. There's no preseason. Like now more than ever, we need depth. So I can't afford to just sell all these players that, to be fair, like Enzo Fernandez, there's some qualities in there that make him useful. Nani Madueke, there's some qualities in there that make him useful. Levi Colwell, so same for that. The only one I can say is maybe Mudryk. That I think that one's a lost cause. We might need to like cut our losses.
So,
on
for
that one,
example,
right?
you want to
But
let's
like,
go to Enzo Fernandez.
we can't
You know,
keep getting rid of these players.
No, let's not talk about we don't have anyone in our other team, because as Ahmed can also say is Nanasi from Strasbourg has been having a pretty good season, and he's a winger / attacker, and he's proud of Strasbourg. Andre Santos is our player. So if we want to fuck
Yes.
off Enzo, I got a guy waiting. So if you're talking about depth, we can literally call off one guy's on loan and the other guy's part of our second team that we own in the
But we have to see what Santos does in Chelsea before we actually fuck off Enzo Fernandez as well.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we
do not need
Yes,
to
we do.
We do.
Yes,
No,
we
we
do.
don't need to keep
Yeah, we don't know what it's like in the league. Yes, we do.
We don't know what it's like in the
It's
league, but not
crazy
only
to do
that,
that.
but not only that, like when we're
I'm
thinking
sorry.
about
So when Saliba came in, when he was balling out for 2 seasons in France.
that's good for Saliba, but there's other
It's gonna
examples
work out
of
for
that
everyone,
that
right?
didn't work out.
at
Like
the
it doesn't
moment.
always work out.
There's
You know
different
why I'm
situations.
pointing
Who
out
do they fuck
Saliba?
off?
You know,
I'm saying,
you
who
know
do
why I'm
they
pointing
fuck
out
off for
Saliba?
Saliba, by the way?
Because he was the reason I'm
Tell me
pointing
who they
out
fuck off
Saliba,
for Saliba.
huh?
Who do they fuck off for Saliba? Just to
Think,
throw
Literally
Rob
Mustafi
Holding
and
or whatever the
Socrates and
fuck.
fucking
Yeah,
every
it's like-
single practice fucking known.
players.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like here's the thing. Like you're saying, like, for example, in the Enzo example that you're saying just sell him and we have Andre Santos.
Yes.
JC's saying it here perfectly. And also, like, if this ends up happening with Lavia, I hope you hold the same energy, right? If Lavia can't stay fit enough for the team, then
Yeah.
maybe he should be fucked off as well.
Yes.
But
Yes.
and that's fine. Assuming Lavia was to get hurt at some point and we get rid of Enzo, right? And we only have Santos and Caicedo that can play in that position. What happens with the Champions League? Are we going to do double play these players a lot again? Are we going to overexert them again and have them
No,
play
that's
2
the-
games a week again?
No, but that's the whole point of Andre Santos. Andre Santos is not just doing well this season. His last loan spell with Strasbourg, he was their best player, literally won the best one. He's once again the highest rated midfielder in terms of his SOFA score, whatever you want. And I'm not just saying that. I've watched this guy week in, week out in all of Europe for someone under the age of 23. He's the best midfielder under 23 in the world right now. That's not
I
new
get
to,
that.
that's not in Real Madrid.
I'm all for the hype. Like I do want Santos to come into the team and I do want to see how he does. Like I do rate him highly. But I feel like it's a mistake to just say like, okay, let's just get rid of Enzo and just put what I'd rather have is a team on one weekend play or one day of the week play Caicedo Lavia or Caicedo Santos, whatever you want to do, right? And then in the Champions League, when we're then there, or I mean, God forbid we don't make it to Champions League, but we're back in Europe, the second team or the cup team, give me Enzo and Lavia or Enzo and Santos. Like, I don't think there's a reason to just make Santos suffer because we don't like Enzo and have Santos play next to KDH or a Cassidy.
Sorry,
Like,
wait. So
unless you want to bring back Ugochukwu, but Ugochukwu hasn't been even playing for Southampton.
He played actually for quite a bit of time. He played the whole second half, basically.
Yeah, but he's been benched as of recently, right?
I feel like this. One thing I have to say, man, just quickly on these EPL loans, man. We need to stop doing these EPL loans, bro. Stop doing EPL loans.
Fair enough, but that's a whole different conversation. I'm just saying, like, but I don't think the solution is just selling everyone. There are certain players I agree we need to sell.
It's selling people who have not done well for us for 2 seasons. We can't, if Enzo does not perform
but based
well
off
for this
of
season,
you, it's been like half the team that you want to sell,
it wasn't
dude.
like shit last season.
Yes, because my aim is to fucking win the league.
I get that,
I don't
but
care. I don't care about anything else. I am not player FC. Enzo's been here would be here for 2.5 years. If he does not perform, he can go. Madueke would be here for 2.5 years. If he doesn't perform, he can go. Same with Mudryk, 2.5 years, not 1 year, not 2 years, 2.5 years by the end of the season if they don't perform. They can leave.
But this is what I'm getting at. This is what I'm getting at. And there's certain players I agree we should just sell, right? Because obviously what I don't want is, any locker room bust-ups and players upset with their playtime and shit. I think we can make use of Nani as a squad player. I don't see the reason to sell him because at the wages he's at the transfer fee that we got him in, I don't like what are we going to get back? Like 40 mil for him? Like, I mean, we could use that, but 40 mil isn't really putting a dent in our pockets like Mudryk, who's 60 mil and really not doing anywhere near as much as what Nani's been able to do.
Yeah, but if we're trusting our scouting network, attacking wise, who we've been recently doing, then we should be scouting another player that should be good enough.
But they're scouting players who are really young and they're not going to be ready for the league.
Excuse me. You say that. We fucking had scouted Duran, who's literally doing better than Ollie Watkins, and Amrodian, who's 20, who's been balling out for the Portuguese league, who were like, oh shit, we should have paid them money for that. And that was this season. And we're saying they're not ready. Duran's in this league. He's 19. He's in this league. The guy we also scouted that Ahmed says is better than Cucurella is freaking 18 in freaking Italy right now. In that league. And they scouted him too. This is a scouting network that we're saying is good enough. That's not great in terms of center back and goalkeeper scouting. But attacking wise, we're saying, look at Jackson. Look at this player we scouted. Look at Esteval, how good he is. Look at this guy. So we should be at least attacking wise trusting the scouting network, no? We literally had 2 people we snubbed off this summer who are balling out. We're scoring more than a goal a game.
Okay. So this is where I gotta push back a little because I get the hype on Duran early on in the season. It looked really good, but I wanted to see the whole picture, which is why I haven't out and out super been pulling out receipts and shit.
But doing pretty well lately as well.
Duran's last goal was in the Champions League, the 22nd of October. He's gone this whole entire month without a goal or an assist at that. Yes, he plays off this. I mean, does that matter? Because he was scoring off the bench the whole time. That was the big,
but I'm saying,
hullabaloo.
How many minutes has it been?
He's played in total this season 626 minutes.
No, I'm saying since that little spell that he hasn't scored.
26 minutes. Again, this is the same amount of time he's had. I got you, Chris. It's right in front of me. The same amount of time that he's been given when he did score. Okay. He's given the same amount of minutes substitution. He
gets more minutes than Nkunku, I'll tell you that.
20. Yeah, he's definitely getting more minutes than Nkunku. 26 against Ipswich, 27 against United, 15 against Fulham, 33 against Bournemouth, 21 against Tottenham, 25 against Liverpool, who he scored against last year, and 21 against Crystal Palace. So he's still getting the same fair share of minutes. He's just not.
Okay, so can I point something out? We're saying Madueke has not been good enough, but he's been starting games, and Duran has more goals than him. Duran has more goals than him being subbed on. Madueke has playing week in, week out.
I don't disagree with. The only thing I disagree with what you're saying, Curry, is I don't think we need to sell him. I think we can wait. I think we can see what happens
because 2.5 seasons. How much longer? I'm assuming.
There's a player there.
Enough.
You know there's a player there. You're just wanting the
We
consistency.
can't do this. There's been a player there. We fucking thought Lucas Pizon was a player. We thought Oscar was a player, and then he went to fucking China.
No,
And we lost out on
situation's a bit
KDB
different,
because Mourinho wanted to choose Oscar over KDB at the time, which was fine. We were winning leagues.
But this is the same.
We
This
thought
is the same
Hudson-Odoi was a
discussion.
player. We kept thinking Hudson-Odoi was a player. Then he lost a step and he fucked off.
Yeah, but he had multiple opportunities to prove himself.
Yeah,
Coming
and
off the bench,
Madueke
and he would do nothing.
It would have been 2.5 years.
Madueke has opportunities that he's taken.
I mean, he has the season to prove what he can do as
Obviously,
well.
he's had moments where he's proven himself, and then he's had moments where throughout the course of games we've not seen enough. That's what I'm getting at. Like yesterday, I'll be so honest. Yesterday, we've been having a totally different discussion on Nani Madueke if Cucurella wasn't offside, right? Or if he didn't get in the way for Cole Palmer's goal. Like, let's be honest. Sometimes it's luck. And I know I'm not saying this whole entire bad patch of form for Nani has been based on luck, but yesterday, isolated example, he's just unlucky. But he does have the potential to play really well, and we've seen him do really well. Like, he'll take a game by the scruff of the neck. It's just a matter of being consistent with him. And listen, this is the same type of discussion that we had with Jackson last season, where Prime said it earlier. Ahmed's been on this side for a while. I think if we're patient with Jackson, we'll see him come good. And guess what? Now we're seeing this player who is being more consistent, who could potentially, I'm having the discussions, who could potentially be a world-class striker. And is only really in this league right now second fiddle to Erling Haaland, who everyone rates. But last season, we weren't having this discussion. Last season, we were like saying, give me Gyökeres, give me Osimhen, give me whoever. Yeah. And I was one of the few saying, like, if we don't get a striker, I'm willing to stick with Jackson, and we'll see what happens. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think there's a player in Nani. Whether or not he can do it consistently, time will tell. But even if he can't do it consistently, I don't mind you having you in the bench. You didn't cost me that much. Mudryk, on the other hand, you cost me a lot of money, bro. You were supposed to be really hyped up. Nani, you came from PSV. No one was hyping up Nani. If anything, people were saying Nani was injury prone and all this. And listen, he's been pretty fit. And that's the other thing, too. Pedro Neto got a knock. Jadon Sancho, not fit. It's like fitness is kind of the best attribute to have. Availability is the best ability. So it's kind of like one of those things. Like I don't mind Nani being in the squad as a squad player. I don't see the reason to sell him because I can see him being an absolute baller somewhere else. Which that doesn't scare me. You can be a baller wherever, but I think you have a use in this team. I think he genuinely has a use in this team. I don't want to rush to sell him. I think I can wait.
Do you know what it is? Any winger going out first, it's definitely Mudryk though. If we're getting rid of him.
You know what it is, guys? Yeah, I get where CP's coming from.
I get it too, but
like it's coming from like a winning mentality. I just think, guys, yeah, if we're being honest, I don't really think our attack is that much of an issue. Genuinely, I think maybe one more striker in my personal opinion to add a different archetype. In my personal opinion. Right, and then honestly, mate, if you want another tall midfielder for Maresca and a goalkeeper and a centre back and a right back, in my personal opinion, to you, I've said I will still stand by my right back take. I feel that's it.
But and to add to that point, Ahmed, if you look at the table, we are the in terms of goal output, we've scored the most goals of any team in the league. So at the same time, like, is Nani been a problem? Not really, because at the end of the day, I just, this is where like we differ, right, Curry? Because I agree with what you're saying. Like, obviously, I would love to have across the front four between the 10, the striker, left and right wing. I would love to have goals spread across. But at the end of the day, last year I said this. I want a striker that can score me the goals. I don't necessarily need my wingers to score goals. As long as you're creating and making assists for that striker to score the goals, I'm cool with that. And right now, Jackson is doing it. So I'm kind of cool with that. And Palmer too, like, you know, time will tell with him, but he's got to step up a little bit too. But I'm okay with having wingers that can just solely create and don't necessarily score. It would be nice if they scored.
I mean, we could potentially.
The reason why JC I said in midfield is only because of the fact that the Mask is still talking about he wants a tall, big-bodied midfielder. He likes them tall and strong, like he said.
But I don't want to disagree with, of course, I don't want to disagree with CP either. Like, if we're linked with Rodrigo, if we're linked with Kvaratskhelia, I'm in there. Like, I'm all for it. I'd take it. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. Go ahead, Prime.
They're going to cost a lot of money. Rodrigo,
Oh, yeah,
I'm not
100%.
entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure Rodrigo is the type of profile that suits Maresca's system from his wingers. Kvaratskhelia is, but I mean, how long has he been playing? For like 2-3 years now, and he's only had really one half season of like elite performances. So I don't know. In terms of Madueke, his biggest problem is just decision making, and if he can improve that over the course of the season, then who knows? But I don't know. At least for right now, I think our future wingers are Esteval and Neto. Esteval on the right and Neto on the Neto on the left.
But Prime, I'm assuming that Madueke wouldn't have played to the level I want him to play, which I said is 17 GA in this league. He can either do 10 goals and 7 assists, or however he wants to do it. If he wants to be more of a goal scorer, fair enough. He needs to score. He needs to get me 15 GA. How about that? In the league.
I agree, but I don't think he's going to reach that target this season. I think next season he would reach that.
I don't have time for next season. I don't have time to wait for an what if.
I mean, yes and no. I don't expect us to challenge the title next season.
I think we can.
I think we should be aiming for that, to be honest.
Prime, can I give you my opinion? Okay, here's why, if you don't mind. Sorry. So I think it's Liverpool, Arsenal, and then us, because I checked the squad of Man City. Their entire centre back line is 30 years old minimum. I'm talking about every defender they have, bar Rico Lewis, is 30 years old, and Guardiola. Akanji's 30, Ake is 30, Diaz is over 30. They're all old. The entire midfield, besides Nunes, is old.
Old as fuck.
Old as hell. Diaz is 27.
27, 28, yeah. But everyone else is old. Okay. They have a very aging squad, and they will need to restock, and it still won't be good enough for them to win the league next season. The season after, maybe.
What does that have to do with us?
I'm saying that's one person out of this race for me next season, because they'll need to buy a lot to have a squad. Okay,
we're not,
because I think you need to respect Pep Guardiola a little more.
We're not. No, but even regardless.
Yes, we can say that. But if your attackers aren't scoring goals, because Savio and Foden have 0 goals.
Doku, Talent ID, Ahmed Doku's shit.
Exactly.
No. I disagree, bro. Listen, Marshall, look at the video. Marshall, look at the video.
I let you guys all speak for like 15-20 minutes.
Go ahead. Sorry, I had to take a shot there.
Why are you talking about City? They're irrelevant in this. Talk about Chelsea. We're not consistent enough to go into a title race next season. And also, we're not going to apply the players required to immediately jump us into title contenders. Let's just be realistic.
You don't think that could change though, Prime?
No, not unless you get me an elite goalkeeper, an elite centre back, and an elite winger.
Yeah, then that's what we're talking about. We want those elite.
We're not going to do that. We're going to sign players that are going to take another season or two to get there.
I think goalkeeper we definitely might do. Winger, probably not.
I think it's tough to say that because I don't think any of us expected this Blueco to sign Pedro Neto.
Yep.
Like that came out of the blue. And I would consider him in the Premier League one of the best wingers. Obviously, he has injuries in his history, but he was a winger that I would have taken. So if the money is right and it looks like a profile that does fit the club, I can see the club getting an elite winger, an elite center back, and an elite goalkeeper.
Okay, but we're talking about ifs off of one example. I'm just being realistic off of what they've done in the past. They're going to sign. They're either going to sign a potential goalkeeper, or we're going to give one of our other goalkeepers a chance.
Okay, what about Caicedo though? 100 million. We were saying he's one of the best up and coming or best midfielders, like top 5 midfielders.
Our center backs, we're bringing in Asselmino. I don't know, even if we bring in another center back, he's going to be elite. And in terms of wingers, I don't know if we're going to buy another winger, truly. You talk about Caicedo, well, we also spent 100 million on Enzo, and that hasn't worked out. So, like, I don't know. We'll see. But in terms of next season, I don't think we're going to start the season as title challengers, being realistic.
I mean, maybe, but TM brings up a good point. If all goes well and we do make Champions League, we now have Champions League money. And that might change a few things and as to how we go about transfers. You never know. Maybe things will stay the same. I don't expect much of a drastic shift in like how we recruit, but it could be one of those things where like, okay, maybe they might go for a bigger name. Not many, but bigger name, you know?
Especially if it fits.
True, but now, assuming we will be in Champions League, that means next season, these players, like our main guys, Jackson, Palmer, whatever, Caicedo, they have to contend with playing 2 games a week.
Mm-hmm.
But also having the pressure of being title challengers, and Maresca also has to deal with the pressure of being a title challenger. I don't think we're ready for that, or we're going to be ready for that next season. I'm just being realistic. Now, that could change depending on how this season goes.
Mm-hmm.
This season is important for us to develop into being that title challenger. But from what I've seen so far, I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah, I mean,
but I disagree with your point about being not consistent enough, because during this December stretch will tell me everything.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
If we beat these little teams, then we are consistent enough to beat everyone that's not the top 6. Actually, it would be Tottenham too, because they're a little team to us. So we will beat basically. No, let's be honest, we always win. We will be beating every team we should be beating. That is consistency, because like Arsenal last year, they beat all the big 6 or got points against big 6, but they lost against the little teams, and they were in a title charge. So we would be consistent in beating everyone else besides the big 6.
I was thinking about this, right? And I'm glad you brought that up, CP. I feel like last year, or let's just say every year in the past 5 years that City have been winning the league, I don't necessarily think they were always consistently getting wins over the big 6 sides, right?
They didn't win it. Besides Man United last season, they hadn't won a single game against the big 6.
They drew against us twice last season.
Yeah, they lost against Arsenal.
They lost against Arsenal and then drew against Arsenal. Against Liverpool, what were the results against Liverpool? Did they win? Did they beat Liverpool once that last season? I don't remember.
I don't think they did.
I don't think so either. Draws. So
and Tottenham, they always beat once and drew, I think.
By the way, Prime, I'm not trying to say like, oh, this is why we're in a title race, like, because I'm still conservative about it, right? I'm waiting until this run of games, but to an extent, you don't necessarily need to beat. I think the decider of the race is usually
in the top 6.
Mm-hmm. No, but I'm saying like usually the decider of the title race is the one who can be consistent against the teams they're supposed to beat versus actually beating those big 6 teams that they're competing against.
Yes, but you haven't negated anything I've said.
But no, like I think it's safe to say that this season so far, and what Curry's saying, at the end of this month, we will also be able to determine against this in this season alone, we've lost to City, lost to Liverpool, dropped points to Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace,
Man United,
Arsenal, and United. So yeah. I think there's some patch of consistency because we were able to beat the other teams, right?
True. If we were truly developing into being title challengers, we would have beaten Palace. The Forest game, I'm not necessarily that mad about per se. Fine, Forest are a good side, is what it is. We played a terrible Man United side that we were expected to do, and an Arsenal side that had injuries that we should have beaten. If we were serious as title challengers, we would have beat 3 out of those 4 teams, and we didn't. So,
but what I'm trying to get at is that, although I agree with you, right? Man City, even they won the title last year, even regardless of those results that you're talking about, where they weren't able to beat the top 6. They had some hiccups against these lower league sides, but they still managed to get points everywhere else they needed to sustain.
Yeah, but last season is the first season Man City have had a poor top 6 record.
Yes, and they still won the league. And Arsenal had a great top 6 record and lost the league.
Because it's Man City, they won 4 on the bounce.
Yeah, and we saw Arsenal have a great record against, and Arsenal had a great record against the Big 6 and still lost the league.
So it's Man City.
I think it's up for grabs this season.
They did a 3-peat, so the muscle memory will still kick in to do the 4-peat. And also, why are we talking about top 6? I didn't mention this. CP did. Why are we talking about?
No, I said you're talking about consistency. I said this will be consistency because in this next month we're playing the fodder teams, supposedly, besides Villa. And if we win the majority of these, I would say 9 out of 10, then we're showing consistency that we can beat the bottom sides for the most part. And you could say we should have won against Palace or the other team we drew to Forest, but then Liverpool this season also lost to Forest.
Yeah,
right.
And Liverpool this season, like I know they're top of the league, but I don't think they've been brilliant in every game. But what they have is 4 world-class players who are match winners for them: Trent, Van Dijk, Alisson, Salah.
Yeah, and we don't know if all of them are also going to stay next season. Trent is very much rumored till Real Madrid. No one has signed their new contracts.
True, but they also have a better squad than we have.
I
think they do.
Like in terms of a starting 11, you mean, or in terms of depth? Oh shit! What the hell?
No, in terms of squad, meaning they've all been together long enough. They have muscle memory together.
But our team has been together for a while now too.
Yes, but we still have young players. This time last year, we were in a relegation battle, or not relegation battle, but we were crying about how bad we are. Now, a year later, we should be talking about title race. I just think, again, we should just calm it down a little bit. If we end the season brilliantly, and then we do the proper recruitment in the summer, if we sign 3 elite players for the positions that we need, then yes, I'll be saying that we can push for a title race, possibly. But until
I think that's fair. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's fair. It does depend on how we finish this season. 100%. Like as of right now, for me to say we should be challenging for a title next season might be premature. I understand that completely. But if this team actually exceeds the expectations, because right now, based on the table where we are right now, they are exceeding my expectations. I was expecting a 4th place finish, but the way we're going right now and the way it's prognosticated to go up until January, we might see ourselves in 2nd place midway through the season.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's also context. We are doing our job, just like Liverpool is doing their job. You know who isn't, though? Arsenal and Man City. If Arsenal and Man City were performing this season like they should have been, Chelsea would be 4th right now, and we wouldn't be talking about title race.
As far as I'm aware, whether or not they're doing their job or not, I don't give a shit. Because just because Leicester won the league a few years back, am I going to discredit that because, City weren't on it that year? Like, I don't care. At the end of the day, I got to win the league.
I'm not discrediting it, but my point is, if next season we end up doing our job and just being consistent, but Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool have world-class seasons and we finish 4th and we're 20 points away, are you going to end up crying about it? No. Sometimes context matters.
No, I get that, but regardless, I hope if this development continues, because this team is drastically better than the team last season, right? We can all agree on that.
Yes.
I would say if that trend continues where we improve next season, then my expectations for next season, obviously, depending on what happens this season, but I expect the season to go well. Assuming the season goes well, we have a top 4 finish. Next season, what I expect is for us to improve on this season and be able to not only do our job, like you said, Prime, but also be able to have more convincing matches and actually be able to be able to win a few matches against these big 6 sides. I don't say you have to win them all. I'm not saying you have to be like undefeated, right? But I would like to see maybe a draw and a win against City or a win against Arsenal. Like, we should be able to get some wins under our belts against these big 6 sides. Like, I'm tired of losing to United, or not beating United. That has to change next season. You see what I'm getting at?
We also need to win a trophy. Winning,
yes, we definitely need to win a trophy.
Will help us, like.
Well, that's what the Conference League is for.
Conference
yeah,
League,
no, I know.
Listen, FA Cup too.
I don't want us to do what Arsenal did.
Not happy about the care about cash out.
I don't want us to do what Arsenal did, where we jumped into being fugazi title challengers. I don't. That's not sustainable. What Arsenal are doing is not sustainable.
Yeah, I get it. But that being said, I mean, this is a good talking point that we had just now. But to build off of that talking point, I do want to bring up something that we were talking about earlier, which is Mykhailo Mudryk, right? So there's been some links to Mykhailo Mudryk. How credible they are, time will tell. But I'm not also surprised to see that there is some links. So the first one I have here in this tweet is Mykhailo Mudryk is being monitored by multiple Premier League clubs ahead of January, and Chelsea could accept a potential offer. Another one for Football Transfers here is Crystal Palace have approached Chelsea with interest in signing out-of-favor winger Mykhailo Mudryk on loan in January. I think there's some credibility to this because I think they haven't filled that gap since Elise left. Not that Mudryk was going to fill it, but regardless. Mykhailo Mudryk could be blocked from making a Chelsea January exit by the Premier League loan rules as well. This is coming from Scott Trotter because I think we've used up all our loans. But there could be a loophole there. We might recall someone. You never know. But Mykhailo Mudryk to leave potentially in January.
How many Premier League loans do we have? Oguchukwu, Chalobah, who else?
Ugochukwu, Chalobah. Shit. Fuck. Chat, help me out.
So are you talking about loans in the Prem or loans
in the Prem? Yeah, domestic loans. Ugochukwu,
Sterling,
Chalobah, Sterling. Is Alfie considered a domestic loan?
No, he's domestic, but he's not in the Prem.
It doesn't count if it's domestic. It's only in the Prem.
No, because this thing says Premier League loan rules.
Okay, yeah. So Ugochukwu.
So 4.
What?
No, it's only.
Does Alfie Gurkers count? No, it's only 3, right?
No, 3. Sorry.
Because Sterling, Ugochukwu. I just said the other one. I can't. Chalobah. Okay, cool. Thank you. I can't remember if there's another one. I don't think there's a 4th one. Are we only allowed 3 Premier League loans?
No, it's not like we're only allowed that much. We have unlimited domestic loans, but that's the only 3 we have in the league. We have other domestic loans, right? Alfie's in League 2. We have Solanina, who's in like League 3, right? We have more domestic loans, but these are only 3 we have in the Prem.
Okay. So is it viable that Mudryk, if a loan from Mudryk were to come in January, it could be blocked?
Yes, we can. We have unlimited domestic loans. It's only international loans where we have a cap.
Okay. Oh yeah, Broja. Shit, I forgot about Broja. That's a 4th one.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Wait, we didn't sell him.
No. He went on
loan with the buyout fee of 20 million or 30 million. 30 million.
Yeah. Limited for over 20 years old, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
But we're currently paying his wages until he gets healthy, and then Everton pays his wages, and then if he hits a certain target, then it activates the automatic buyout.
Imagine Broja, he got fucking hurt for this long. It's insane. But regardless, So I don't see why it would get blocked. I feel like I wouldn't be opposed to having Mudryk on loan where he can just have first game minutes in the Premier League somewhere else. I mean, I genuinely don't care. That's fine. I say do it. Why not? Get his wages off the book. Have him develop somewhere else. I mean, if he balls out there, who knows? Maybe we have a conversation like, oh, you know what, Mykhailo Mudryk, maybe you should stay at Chelsea. But right now, I kind of just want him out. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I even said it early onset, like January, bro, get out. But, I mean, he's been okay lately. I'm not gonna say he's lit the world on fire. But it looks like he's improving, which is good. But, you know, it's got to do a little more. Like, I'm not convinced by these Conference League man of the matches or these Boro matches or whoever else. Who else do we play in the fucking... That's it, right? I think Boro was the only team in the Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. So, I'm not convinced by these matches. I don't know if you guys disagree, but, yeah. I think loan him out. Why not? I don't see why I would get blocked.
Yeah, get him the game time. If he does well, we can sell him off.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not going to fight you on that one. I think Mudryk is one that we give him plenty of time. Okay, we continue on. Another topic that I had for you guys is Moises Kante. What do I mean by that? I mean, it's time to give flowers to what could potentially be our best player this season. So we'll start off with this first tweet I have here. Moises Kante. I'm going to just keep saying it. Fuck it. Moises Caicedo is the only player across Europe's top 5 leagues this season to record 3+ goal contributions, 35 or more tackles, more than 70 duels won, and more than 500 successful passes. The octopus is now what they're calling him, okay? That's... El Pulpo Moises Caicedo. Love it. We continue on. Those who worked with N'Golo Kante at Chelsea see similarities in the character of Moises Caicedo and believe the club once again have one of the best midfielders in the world. Listen, I wasn't disrespecting Kante when I said Moises Caicedo is Moises Kante. I'm just saying I see the profile, I see the similarities. I'm not saying they're the same player. Kante is still clear for me. Moises still has a lot to prove, but come on, man. You got to put some respect on Moises Caicedo. Potentially, if not the best midfielder in the Premier League right now. And, hey, man, I'm just saying. Moises Kante, man. Respect the man. I'm happy to glaze Moises Kante any day of the week. We continue on. Had Brighton accepted Arsenal's £70 million January 2023 bid for Moises Caicedo, he could be lining up for them this weekend. But his dream had always been clear, to play for Chelsea and follow in the footsteps of his idol, N'Golo Kante. Wow, love to hear all this. This is great. Proper Chelsea right here, right? While there was acknowledgement that Declan Rice had a bigger personality and could be a leader of the young squad Chelsea were building, Moises Caicedo was deemed to be the better all-around talent. I think we can all agree on that, right, Curry? Yes.
Sorry, I was having some water. Yes, I agree.
Water, because we're all thirsty for some Moises Caicedo. That's why. We continue on. I'm sorry. You just got to let me glaze Moises Caicedo. I'm too happy. On Liverpool's failed move from Moises Caicedo, Jurgen Klopp and his former Brighton teammate, Alexis former Brighton... That's a weird way to say that. Jurgen Klopp and his former Brighton... Brighton teammate. Oh, okay, talking about Moises Caicedo. Alexis McAllister made calls to try to turn his head, but both men were told that he only wanted to move to Stamford Bridge. Cole Palmer may have been the man to grab the headlines, but Chelsea insiders believe that it is Moises Caicedo whom head coach Enzo Maresca would find impossible to replace. Next to Romeo Lavia, Moises Caicedo can operate as a number 8, winning the ball back higher up the pitch and showcasing more of his natural ability that saw him start out as a forward, just as Kante did. When Enzo Fernandez plays, Caicedo has to operate as more of a traditional 6, but whether he is starting deeper or with more license to get forward, Chelsea do not have another player with his physical attribute and skills. This is Gravenberch versus Caicedo. In the green, you're seeing Caicedo. And listen, respect to Gravenberch. He's had a good season so far. But come on now. Moises Caicedo, he's our guy. We're always going to say he's been better. And if you look at what we're looking at here, the only stats that I'm seeing Gravenberch beat Caicedo in is ground duel success percentage, which fair enough, fair play. It's not too far off. 51.8% for Moises versus the 62.6% for Gravenberch. He's beaten Caicedo in aerial duels 1. Again, not by too much. 50% versus 68.1 successful duel rate. Then interceptions made, it's a 0.8 difference with Gravenberch leading that. Ball recoveries, 5.9 for Moises, 8%. Wait, is that right? Yeah, 8% for Gravenberch. And then final third ending sequences, it's so close. Yeah, I mean, Gravenberch has been good this season. I'm looking at this too, and I'm acknowledging Gravenberch has been good. But in terms of tackles, Moises Caicedo is your guy. Shot ending sequence, Moises Caicedo is your guy. Passes into the final third, Moises Caicedo is your guy. Duels 1, Moises Caicedo is your guy. Like, it's up there. I think it's a very good competition between the both of them. Respect to both. But yeah, big up to Moises. And another one here, top five league midfielders, key passes. Cole Palmer is up there, right? In terms of key passes with 12. But Moises Caicedo is only 4 points off with 8. Or 4 key passes off with 8. And then 2 more. Moises Caicedo could compete with Palmer for Chelsea's player of the season so far. He's been very consistent. His price tag understandably gets mentioned quite a lot when you're a Premier League's record buy, but he's actually putting in the performances that show it, and I would agree with that. And then last but not least, congratulations to Moises Papa. Nuestro Galáctico conoció a su bebé. Felicidades de la familia. Lograron su triunfo más lindo, which is he happened to get his biggest victory by having a child. Moises Caicedo is now a father, so big up to Moises Caicedo. I hope I did the justice of the blazing. I'm just saying, Moises Caicedo, Moises Kante, phenomenal player. I'm so happy to see how he's done this season so far. I'm so happy with his development. And listen, he deserves every single bit of respect that is, merited of him. And Moises Rodri, nah, come on. Moises Kante, bro. Let's have it right. World Cup winner Moises Kante. Rodri would never. Rodri would never. Maybe he would, but he would never. But Prime, I mean, did you want to add anything to the Moises Caicedo prop? Moises Kante? Or did I just say everything with the tweets pretty much? I think Prime is frozen.
I think he just, spent 15 minutes glazing him, so.
I think deservedly so. So, yeah, unless you want to throw in your 2 cents, I'm ready to move on to the final 2 topics we have. But you let me know.
Yeah, we can move on.
Sweet. Okay. So, on to the next topic here, which is goalkeeper rumors. This is something I think we've all been looking forward to. So let's see what we have in terms of goalkeeper rumors. And I'm disappointed to tell you guys there's not much in here, but I'm going to give you whatever I can find. And we'll start off with this first tweet, which is Chelsea are currently not working on a deal to sign Kelleher from Liverpool, despite recent links. And this is coming from Fabrizio Romano. You don't want Kelleher?
No, I don't.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. People are very on the fence on that one. Some people say they do. Some people say they don't. I'm desperate for anyone better than Sanchez. Chelsea have big relief in Robert Sanchez and feel they have a strong future with 22-year-old Philip Jurgensen and the incoming 19-year-old Mike Penders from Genk. That's coming from Kieran Gill. We continue on. The door has been left open for Georgi Petrovic to return to Chelsea, having excelled at partner club Strasbourg Ligue 1. Having excelled in his spell at Strasbourg Ligue 1, he has excelled in France and fought his way into pole position to become his national team's starting goalkeeper for the first time. So, let me start off with this first tweet here. I'm willing to give this kid a shot because of how bad Sanchez has been. But I feel like it's weird that they're saying, Kieran Gill is saying, Philip feel they have a strong future with 22-year-old Philip Jorgensen. But I feel like we just haven't seen him being given the time of day to really prove himself. Fair enough, he plays in the Conference League, but at the same time, like, he hasn't done much in the Conference League because he hasn't needed to do much. Maybe in the FA Cup we'll see a little bit more, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like right now it feels like Jorgensen's kind of a waste of a signing. I feel like the job Jorgensen is doing, we could have got Bergstrom to do. Like, I'm not feeling very enthusiastic about Philip Jorgensen. As for Penders, I'm hearing nothing but great things. I'm hopping on the hype train. I'm hoping he works out. But I also like that this is a thing from BBC Sport or Nazar Cancella, that apparently the door is open for Petrovic to come into Chelsea. And I'm all for that. Just give me the bare basics. Defend, block, and don't look confident on the ball, and don't make stupid mistakes and have bozo moments like a Sanchez. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that, Prime, but you're more than welcome to.
He was one of the worst goalkeepers in the Premier League. He's one of the worst goalkeepers
Sanchez
to play for Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to go. Jorgensen is better than him. He truly is. Let's fix the goalkeeper situation, man. It's an absolute mess. See, this is part of why we can't talk about title talk. We don't have a goalkeeper. We've got like 8 of them, and we still don't have a number 1 that we can actually rely on. And what's funny is the way Jorgensen or Petrovic has been playing. He's been one of the best goalkeepers in Europe this season, based off of form.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, time will tell. I can see a situation where in January we recall Petrovic. I can see a situation like that, but we'll see. We'll see. That's something, again, time will tell. The last topic I have for you guys, and ladies and gents, thank you so much for tuning in and sticking around. Always a pleasure to have you guys in the chat to enjoy the content, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content, and it is making whatever you're doing easier to do, something in the background, 3 hours for you guys to pass the time. Lastly, we have this Nkunku Not For Sale. So obviously, recently we had some rumors about Nkunku not being happy with the situation at the club, so on and so forth. But Chelsea came out and said some things. So let's go ahead and look at this article here. The Athletic stating that a source close to Christopher Nkunku did suggest he is not too happy with how things are going right now. It should be pointed out that the source also insisted that Nkunku has not made any complaints. So it ain't come from Nkunku's mouth. It's coming from the source's mouth that Nkunku's not happy. Right? That's the way I'm interpreting that. If Nkunku didn't make any complaints, then clearly Nkunku didn't say he wasn't happy. Because that would be a complaint, right? So we continue on. Chelsea still regard Christopher Nkunku as an important member of the squad, and with so many matches remaining, they believe there are plenty of opportunities for him to make his mark. They do not want to sell. It would take an extraordinary offer, the Athletic stating here, and I believe Simon Johnson also saying the same exact thing. Chelsea do not want to sell. It would take an extraordinary offer, perhaps in the excess of what they paid for him, to make them think about changing their minds. Very solid sources here stating that Nkunku is not going anywhere. Nkunku will stay, and that they believe Nkunku will have plenty of game time to prove that he is a Chelsea player, to prove that he is likely to stay out, to prove that he could be potentially a world-class player. That's yet to be seen. But, I mean, any 2 cents on that, Prime? Speaking of 2 cents, smash that like.
Yeah, people, like and subscribe. It's been 3 hours. I'm tired.
Yeah, you are.
And Nkunku can go. I don't care about him. I'll be solo.
Right, that's fair. I mean, we could end it on that. You don't care about Nkunku.
I know he'd be a flop anyway. I wasn't that impressed by the signing. I know he's a good goal scorer, but aside from that, he doesn't fit in the team. So,
I mean, I'm not willing to jump that gun just yet. I do want to see what else Maresca has planned in terms of formation and roles in the team. And then from there, we can assess what happens. Time will tell with this one. But if he goes, I get it. If he stays, awesome. That's the way I see it. And that's the way I think we're going to end it, ladies and gents. So big up to everyone who has tuned in to the show. Big up to everyone who smashed that like and subscribed to the channel. It is very much appreciated. It never goes unnoticed. And I am very grateful for all you guys that show your support, especially when we have dry news like what we've had recently. Not to say, I mean, hey, listen, we still make 3 hours of the show regardless. So it is what it is. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the conversation.
Me and Ahmed, let's be fair.
100%. But regardless, go ahead and smash a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We're going to go ahead and raid out to our boy, our friend at Sarcasm City, Flawless. So be sure to copy and paste that raid message. Let him know where you're coming from. Also, check out the comments down below. Leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts on everything we discussed. Check out the memberships because we have 4 different tiers starting at 99p. And at that proper casual tier, you get a shout out at the end of every show. And today, big up to our boy TM127 who joined at the proper casual tier. We're going to go ahead and give you a round of applause, my friend. Big up and thank you for your support. New member, shout out right there to TM127, EE, Hassan Nawaz, Dark, Adrian A, Solomon Scott, Josh CFC, M3, Iwana Gabriel, and
What?
big shout outs to you guys and thank you for all your support on the channel, and thank you everyone else who's also supported the channel. I think we'll be back Wednesday for more news. I guess actually I might do a Chelsea hour Wednesday. I haven't decided yet. Thursday we have the game, so we'll talk about the game then. And then we'll see how the content rolls out, ladies and gents. So be on the lookout, subscribe, hit the bell notification, you're notified whenever we do go live. And as always, like I said, let Flawless know where you're coming from. Copy and paste that red message. We'll see you again soon. And as always, stay casual. Peace.